All right.
Why was that so funny to me?
Audio sounds good.
Ouch.
I'm recording now, so everything you say from
Yeah,
here on will go into the computer as a permanent. That is a very cute mustache, Thomas.
Can you
I'm Dane.
Oh, Dane, sorry.
Can you
Look at Kitty
in-
Cat.
Can you in one of those audio can you put in the word like funny words over my words? Like if I say like penis, can you be like ding dong? I don't know.
No.
Okay.
No, that is gonna
Ooh,
stay.
It's pale.
All right, let's do it.
Okay. No roll 20. No live stream. This is old fashioned D&D.
Well, old fashioned D&D would be, in person.
Pen and paper. Oh man, Thomas, you're.
This is live stream. This is old fashioned to me. I haven't played in person in years.
Jake and I had a game or two within the last year that were in person, and then we decided not to play that anymore.
Yeah, because they're all
for
fuck
reasons.
playing in person.
No, I like playing in person. It's better. I just.
I hate people.
It wasn't because it was in person that we stopped.
Oh, it's because of the people.
Okay. Everyone ready to start?
Hell yeah, man.
What's that?
Okay.
2 seconds.
2 seconds. Okay.
I'm trying to line up the cameras with the borders. That's gonna have to work. Sorry. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Welcome viewers to this week's episode of the Monster Mash. Sorry we're having technical difficulties and can't live stream again, but we're glad that you're watching the recording. If you didn't mean to tune into the Monster Mash, don't go anywhere. I think you'll like it.
Stay here.
You're biased.
Love us.
This is a 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons playthrough of the published Curse of Strahd module, though it is fairly heavily homebrewed, attached to another sub-campaign. This whole campaign we're calling the Monster Mash. It's a gothic horror campaign, lots of dark themes. My name is Thomas. I'm the DM, the Dungeon Master for this campaign. But because this is such a dark campaign, I do want to give a content warning. Real quick, do you, the players, how familiar are you with gothic horror as a genre?
Gargoyles.
I like it.
It's spooky.
Yeah, same with Jake. Spooky doopy.
I don't think I covered this
Gargoyles.
super in depth in
Yeah.
session 0 whenever we first talked about this campaign. Traditionally, so gothic horror is a subgenre of horror as a whole, horror being, umbrella spooky. Gothic horror is a little bit older of a presentation of spooky, scary. And there's a couple literary themes that are consistent with gothic horror. And one of them is that gothic horror stories don't have happy endings.
Yeah.
Gothic horror stories don't have happy endings. The protagonists either die or who they were dies.
It happens.
They become someone else. They lose their sense of hope or positivity or whatever. If you haven't noticed, that's a pretty strong theme in this campaign. So I just wanted to finally, 15 sessions into Curse of Strahd, 24 sessions into the overall campaign, sort of touch on that, in case you weren't aware. But that's a ways in the future. We have a long way to go before that. Until then, the sort of themes that we deal with is A, child endangerment, a lot of child endangerment.
It's the best part. Some would
Somehow
argue.
more than that. It's not just the best part, it's the only part.
It's half the game.
It's half the game. I wasn't planning on that.
They're either, kidnapped, being eaten by witches or whatever, or made into pies. They're
or being thrown over waterfalls for some
waterfalls.
corrupted ritual.
Got a fuck ton of witches in these campaigns.
they're being
Lots of-
possessed
yeah.
by demons.
Yeah.
Kids are just
Yeah.
messy. I don't know.
Kids are messy, but they're still cool. There's still some really cool kid NPCs in this story that you have already met. Potentially
Lucian.
more to meet in the future.
Not Lucian.
Yeah, Lucian is like, what was that one? Sean?
Sean Spencer.
Sean was
Yes.
Lucian is
Sean.
not Sean. Lucian and
Lucian.
Sean are two different kinds of interesting.
Don't insult Sean like that.
Don't insult Sean like that. Really.
Fuck,
What do-
fuck Sean.
Why do I feel like he's about to show up?
Hello, guys.
You hear through the mists a familiar
Hello, sirs.
voice. Hello, sirs.
The
Would you like
jingle
to buy a
jingle of
package?
coin.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Sean,
I do
get
I
me
have
out
a
of
deal
here.
for you.
Oh, you want to buy
It's
the
called the Get Out of Barovia
Barovia
package.
Give me that one.
The million coins.
Your soul will be able to leave, but your body stays. It's called I Kill You.
It's called I Kill You. It's an offshoot of
It's the-
IKEA.
It's the I Kill You package. The other dark themes, general death and mortality, psychological trauma is a big one. Addiction, abuse,
Tax
fraud.
evasion.
Not tax evasion. We don't do tax evasion here.
That's what you think.
Not on this stream.
Dane hasn't paid
Vanna.
taxes since he was born.
Yesterday was tax day, everyone.
No, they extended it.
Did mine months ago.
Yesterday is
Also,
traditionally tax day.
Yeah,
I was
we
gonna
go
say
just
also
under.
it's extended, but
All that out of the way, I will let my players introduce themselves and their characters. Rance, you are up first.
Hello, my name is Rance, and I play the Goblin Blood Hunter / Ranger, named Six, also known as Noom. An interesting fact about Six is that he has had 3 different eye colors.
Yeah. What's his? Did something did happen last session? Do you want to fill us in on just like what his appearance is right now?
Yeah. Last session, well, I'm just hitting the shit out of my desk real fast.
don't abuse your new desk.
Yeah, it's pretty baby. So last session, the bones got thrown back in the altar as Six had his Rite of Dawn activated, and his Rite of Dawn lets him cast that 20-foot area of light around him. And when that wave of holy energy swept over him that came from the altar, it washed over him, hit his aura, and he was like stumbled over for a second, closed his eyes, and then when he opened it up, his left eye stayed white when he deactivated it.
You should update your Hero
Yeah.
Forge.
Yeah, I have to
for
find
that.
find which computer I use the
Oh yeah.
use Hero Forge for.
Okay. Savannah, what are you up to?
Yeah, I'm Savannah. I play the Changeling Paladin Arcs. Sometimes you might see him as Ermin, some fun things. To play off of Six's eye color fact, Arcs has had at least 3 eye colors.
Not just 3,
That's
at least
cheating.
3.
Yeah,
At
you can't
least 3.
steal facts. It's so
That's
rude.
cheating.
I didn't have a fact yet until that worked.
That
It's
is
it's still a fact and it's true. At least 3.
nonsense. That's nonsense.
What is Arx's base eye color?
Arcs has colorless eyes. They're literally white.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
So-
so
Disgusting.
Hair's white,
So,
skin's white.
so it's not
eyes are
not
white.
you that's cheating off of Rance. It's actually more like Rance is cheating, or Six is cheating off of Arx.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, because Arcs' baseline is white, and then you guys would have already seen Ermin, and Ermin has brown eyes. Yes. Okay, I was double checking. Brown eyes.
Hi, my name's Kobe Artumis. I play Dane, our Tiefling Warlock Rogue. And an interesting fact about Dane is he's been in love 3 times in his life, and 1 time was a shoe.
Was a what?
A shoe.
A shoe?
Yeah.
like
I'm not going to elaborate. That's all you get.
like the animal.
No, like the footwear.
Yeah, like a footwear.
A shoe.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a
Like-
shrew. I'm sorry.
This
You were thinking of
this is
shrew.
a slipper, but it's
Yeah,
essentially a
Like
shoe.
a shoe. Yes, a fucking shoe.
Like a tennis
Bless you.
shoe.
Thank you. Yeah, shoe. Yeah. He's got a thing for feet.
Wait, I thought it was Cat that had a thing.
No,
for...
no. Dane has established in canon that he has a thing for feet. That was something
Cat
in the,
just
in the
has
intro
something for-
adventure.
her toes being sucked.
Cat has 12
That's
toes.
a whole
8
different
on
thing.
one,
That's I
4 on
think
the
I think it's
other.
different.
That's
Oh, okay. My mistake.
My turn, I guess. So I'm Jake. I play the alchemist Cinna. Fun fact about Cinna is she's a very organized person. She believes like everything has a place. She has to travel a lot for work. So she has like this little workshop that she carries with her, and every like little component has a has its place in that workshop where she can do her alchemical experiments.
Dana's
At least
fucking
3
dumb
nooks in that case for
Easy.
components.
Hey everybody, name's Jared. I go by Catherine E. Pepperidge. She is a wonderful cookie maiden, a very tall woman, very powerful, fucking it up. One fun fact for this wonderful month of April, which is Autism Awareness Month, Kat is actually on the spectrum just a little bit.
Okay.
All right.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Nice.
She does have hard time with social interaction sometimes, so she's very uncomfortable a lot of the time. She doesn't let you all show it or let you all see it, but she's very uncomfortable and quite sweaty all the time when she comes to social interactions, and social cues can be kind of hard. That's why she's very like that one time with the woman at the at the
Oh, it's
office.
why it's why she skips she skips custom often and just kind of like goes directly into business mode.
Or just
how she
bursts
just
down
walked in-
doors and walks in.
Yeah, I was gonna say like how she just walked into the burgomaster's house without sort of like addressing their presence at all.
Yeah, just done. So
You know that
How
explains
does she
a lot.
how does she do with flashing lights and loud noises?
lights are okay. The noise is problematic, but I think she's doing better. So this is not
so
a
that's
group
how
up,
you get rid of Cat, is make a bunch of loud
This is
noises.
not a group 'em up. This is a real thing. This is real character arc right here. It's also bringing awareness to autism this month. So no goofs, please. No goofs. All right.
Nice. Okay. Let's do a recap of last session. I will do this week's recap again because you guys were separated for half of the session, and also last session was a doozy. And so I'm gonna have to sort of skim on some of it, skip some of the cooler details just for the sake of saving time, because I kind of have a lot to cover. So, last session, the town of Vallaki was under attack from half a dozen vampire spawn who were in possession of St. Andrew's bones, an artifact that when placed on a specific slab in the town church would turn the building into hallowed ground and create a safe space from evil. The party split into 2 forces. Arx had stolen the bones from the vampires and taken off for the church, while Dane and Six did what they could to aid in their flight and slow down the pursuing vampires. Simultaneously, Cinna and Kat teamed up with the town guards to take out the other groups of vampires that were hunting down townspeople and drinking their blood. During these chaotic events, Strahd appeared in the sky atop a flaming horse and brought with him black clouds as he had descended upon the church. You all raced to meet him there amidst crowds of panicked people, swarms of bats, and more vampires. Eventually, you all made it there to witness him brutally kill Father Lucian, the town priest, and declare that there be no more worship of false deities, as he is the only real god in this valley. Dane and Arx squared off with Strahd as he tried to prevent them from depositing the bones and consecrating the church. He tried to explain his side, how Andral's actions centuries ago were an act of treason against his lordship, and he was merely here to exact proper justice. When Arx was poised to throw the saint's remains onto the holy slab, Strahd made one last threat on Dane's life that hung upon the changeling's actions. This spurred the party to split in ideals. Six and Kat argued in favor of Strahd for the sake of their friend's life, but Arx and Dane stayed focused on doing this selfless act, regardless of the consequences. As soon as the bones hit the slab, holy energy boomed throughout the church, filling everyone with feelings of safety as Strahd's body began to disintegrate. But before his body could be destroyed, he evaporated into a cloud of mist with one last parting smile. That is where our session ended, but we went ahead and role-played the aftermath in our Discord server. That conversation will be added to our Stories So Far document at some point. After the dust settled, the guards dispersed to receive orders from the burgomaster, Baron Vargas. They got word to have the injured stay in the church that night, and everyone else stay in their homes. Everyone was essentially on lockdown. They wouldn't even allow Six to perform a funeral for the priest. They told him there would be a mass funeral the following day. But you could at least tend to the wounded that arrived with the healing kits you got from the apothecary and whatever strength you all had left for healing magic. Six talked to Yeska, the grieving altar boy, and found out that Father Lucian, had been the only real holy figure in town, and that whatever knowledge there was of attaining priesthood through the Morning Lord was in his room. But Six found the room completely burnt and destroyed, and completely and thoroughly wiped out, seemingly leaving a hole of religious leadership in Vallaki. He returned to the group to find Arx in a daze. The changeling had realized that what had happened had been foretold by Madame Eva of the Vistani, that one such as Kat would tempt them away from their path of duty, and this realization sowed mistrust in their mind. But Six spoke on Kat's behalf and provided evidence that her actions, as well as Six's, were done with their friend's safety in mind. This was reasonable, but as the group lay down to get some sleep, these travelers couldn't help but feel that their personal motivations were not as uniform as they once thought. So we're gonna fast forward to morning, but first, as the night ends, beforehand, Dane.
Fuck! Yes?
For the first time in several days, you have no dreams.
Like none whatsoever, just blank sleep?
No dreams. None at all.
You equaled
he's
out.
fine.
You
He's
equaled
fine.
out.
He's really fine. He's just sleeping.
He's just tired boy, sleepy boy.
For once, unfortunately, Arx does not get to punch him in the navel to wake him up.
I was
in the morning.
when you said Dane, I was about to type. I get to punch him in the navel, and you said there was the rest of it too fast for me to type it, and I'm a
It's
little
so-
upset.
It's been so long since we slept. I just
Backspace,
realized that.
backspace. Don't get to punch him.
I'm so sad about it.
Real
That
quick,
was kind of fun.
whenever it was while it lasted, we all really enjoyed it. What a
Yeah.
nice arc that was. Dane's addiction. That was a fun time we all had.
Yeah, punching him in the navel was fun. I
It was
agree.
awful.
I wonder
I like to punch him.
what's coming next. Okay, so
We get to punch him again?
Stop.
we'll get there, one step at a time. So before you guys had gone to bed, Six, you had tried to perform. You had tried to express your intention to perform a funeral with Father Lucian, but you were denied this on account of the Baron's lockdown order. Where did you guys end up leaving Father Lucian's body that night?
Probably would have been. I said we were gonna get his body last. So he would have like. I'm trying to think of like how you would arrange bodies in a cemetery, but probably just like small piles that don't get too high, but like big enough to where like you could dig a big grave and then toss them in.
Sure.
I would probably set aside, like as far as we could get, like a smaller grave just for him, and had that like the big one on one side, the big pile of bodies, Lucian, small grave.
Okay.
Yeah.
For one thing, the graves haven't been dug yet. That would take a good
Yeah.
deal amount of time. Yeah. But just in regards to, because the dead bodies over the course of that evening and into the night, volunteers, mostly the guards, had been bringing the dead bodies to the church grounds. So Lucian, I guess, would be set aside there. Yes, Dane. Question.
Because Barovia is so not sunny and wet all the time,
Correct.
do bodies rot quicker or slower?
Oh, that's a good question.
Wait, when it's not sunny but wet, sun would increase it, but the water would increase it.
So maybe it's
It would
So
be
the
a little
same.
slower because you don't have the sun. So
Okay.
Okay.
shouldn't it be as warm? So yeah,
it's also
decomposition
late.
would be
It's also
slower.
late fall. Like each morning,
It's
this is
colder.
this is the sixth morning that you've woken up in Barovia. Each day has been getting a little bit colder and colder. The rain more uncomfortable for Dane's shirtless vest covered torso. So yeah, with that amount of cold and the lack of sun, the bodies would definitely be rotting slower, and it has only been just 12 hours or so.
Yeah, because the water
what
would
is-
make it the pruny and skin slippage, but the rest of the body wouldn't decompose very fast.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Good detail there.
Science.
You see, when you
Science.
guys wake up in the morning, what's your sort of get up and not necessarily get up and go, but like your wake up routine? Just because every class has a sort of things to prepare, in each and this day is a little bit peculiar because you didn't have your own room exactly. You could have if you had commandeered, because there were bedrooms in the church. So I don't know where you guys would have specifically slept. Maybe where are you waking up and what are you doing once you get up in the morning?
Yeah, Dane gets up, scratches his nuts, and then stretches.
Where did Dane crash in the night?
I think
If
Dane
you can remember the layout of the church.
I think Dane just slept on a pew nearby the altar.
Okay.
Yeah, he just gets up, like scratches his nuts, stretches one arm, and then he goes around. He's looking to see what's all fucked up, trying to see if if Yeska's up yet, because he has a gift to give him.
Yeah, sure. Let's go ahead and do that. Yeska is Yeska's awake. He seems to be a morning boy.
Morning boy.
He's certainly a child of the morning lord. That's for sure.
Dane will walk up to Yeska and just tap the boy on the shoulder because he might not. He'll try. Is he facing me or
He
looking
jumps.
away?
He's a little startled.
Oh,
He's just-
I'm so sorry. And I'll reach in my satchel and pull out the Bible I stole from the other church. And I'm gonna go, Yeska, this is for you. This is mine, but I want you to have it. Six
mine.
had told me what happened up there, and I feel like something like this will really help you. So I'll give it to him.
This is so nice. Where did you get it?
The what was the first town called again? Valaki?
Village of Barovia.
Oh, the village of Barovia. I got this from the village of Barovia. The priest there gave it to me.
Wow. What is their church like?
It's a lot smaller than this. It's not as cool. Not as cool.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
This church is very cool.
very very cool.
It's cool to
Just,
go to church.
Very cool. You should tell that to Six. Yeah, just stay safe, Yeska. Dan will turn around and start walking away.
All right. What about for everyone else?
Kat was probably by herself most of the night, I imagine. Like, I don't think she's probably with anybody else. She probably felt, I mean, I know Six stood up for her, but she probably still felt a little outcast. She probably was like, I don't really want to deal with anybody right now. She knows what she did was right. So she was like, in her head, she's like, I know what I was saying was the right thing to do. And I'm glad it worked out. But I know that we would have been, if things have gone wrong, we all would have died and it would have been way worse. So I think Kat's by herself, kind of just like contemplating what to do next. I don't think she's talked to anybody else yet. So
I do want to add to Kat. In the middle of the night, Six got up and went over to you while you were sleeping and put a small piece of amber that has like a little carving of a flame on it, and just set it like on your stomach, and then went to sleep.
Okay, so you would have woken up with that on your stomach, Kat.
and Kat would have like who would carve something like this and like put it to her head and think, and then
Real
wouldn't know
dirty.
who it was, and then put it down and be like, I'll figure this out in a minute.
It's still early.
Can't.
You don't have your faculties.
Yeah, that fog in the mind. Yeah, really.
I'll think about it. And I think she'll probably slip it in, like, she has a frocket as well. She put it in her frocket.
It's just
Oh my
cleavage.
gosh.
Oh,
No,
That's
she has an actual frocket. She's an actual frocket.
Oh, okay.
does Dane's vest have rockets? Do you have
no. His
pockets in
vest
your
does. His vest does not have any pockets.
Oh my god.
It's not functional whatsoever.
No,
Yeah.
he just thought it looked really cool when he saw it in like the shop window. He went in and it was the only thing he bought.
That's just pure rawhide aesthetic, boy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Six probably slept underneath the pew that Dane was sleeping in, and just covered in a blanket, covered in his tent. Woke up probably a little bit after Dane, noticing that he's getting off. The pew creaks a little bit.
Woke up, just saw Dane scratching his nuts.
No, I just heard like that sounded like wood creaking, like, oh, he's scratching his nuts.
Look,
Got up and just going up to like the altar and sitting on top of the like that pulpit area, and just watching everybody get together, waiting for everyone to get up.
Arx or Senna,
Oh!
down to you guys.
Right. So yeah, Arx would have, after, their chat with Six, gone towards, trying to remember the map, towards
was-
the door where we lost, or towards the door where we last saw some guards, and then slept on a pew close to it in case anybody came back in during the night
Okay.
to kind of serve as a warning system or whatever,
Sure.
if that makes sense. And then they woke up and just didn't do anything special, just kind of regrouped.
I guess Senna's the only one that actually needs to do morning prep.
Yeah.
Make
I'll
sure my
keep-
scabs have healed.
I'll keep mine pretty brief. So Senna would have put her bedroll probably next to one of the south walls.
So
and
like the
slept
complete
there.
opposite side of the church.
Yeah, near the entrance we came in.
I would say that'd be mostly where the injured are gathered.
yeah.
You guys would have tended to them. They're not really having any more problems, but they had stayed there because they weren't allowed to sort of leave after that.
Mostly for ease of access if I did need to help someone through the night. And then when she woke up, she would have prepared her spells, prepared a couple experimental elixirs. I imagine when she's doing this, she has her component pouch, and she's just like organizing the quick access slots that she needs. Like she'll put the material in for each, and then be able to pull it out quickly and use it when she needs it. So a lot of just organizing her inventory.
Okay. Yeah, so you guys get up and sort of get ready to face whatever could possibly come next today. Surely not as worse as what the fuck happened last night. Who's the first to go outside and sort of like see what's going on that morning?
Probably me after
Okay.
After preparing. So
Okay, yeah. So Cinna, you walk outside to sort of like gauge the situation. The streets aren't very active right now. It's a little bit after sunrise. So there's it's light out in the sky again through the clouds, of course. There's sort of like a light sort of like a misting sort of rain, where it just sort of like the water droplets sort of just dance on your skin. And you're looking around. It looks like come light that a good amount of the guards had left the church and either gone to rest or been stationed somewhere else. However, there are some remain, and there are some volunteers with them that have begun now in the morning digging this mass grave that's going to have to fit these amounts of bodies. It looks like it's slow going, though. It's probably going to take most of the day to be able to get this organized. One thing that you notice, though, is that amidst all of the bodies that are sort of laid out next to where the graves are currently being dug for this event, you don't see Father Lucian's body.
okay. Where is this happening? The grave, is this in the behind the church, like in the graveyard section, or?
This is going to be in the off to like the northern end of the church. So the way that the church is positioned is that there's this sort of like a bit of a small hill, sort of like a grassy rise, essentially. that the church is situated on, sort of like a green space. The church is situated on the south end of this green space, just off of that road that's right there. And that green space cemetery sort of extends on the western, northern, and eastern side of the building. And it looks like just off to the northeastern side, is where the bodies had been collected. And that's where the grave is being built. You would remember Six's whole thing last night, his sort of like outburst against the guards, against not being able to perform that funeral the burial rite then, and that he would have set him aside for something special whenever they were going to allow him to. But the body's gone.
Okay, interesting. I'll probably spend a few minutes outside and then return inside and relay. Do you guys, Six, did you already move the father's body?
Yeah, we put it just off to the right, one of the piles closest to the church.
Okay, I didn't see it out there, so.
You didn't see it? It's like 60 feet from the door.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't really looking for it, but I didn't see it when I was looking over the corpses there.
All right, Six will hop down and take a look outside.
Yeah, you remember where you put it because you were the one who put him there. The body's not there.
Can I look for any sort of tracks around the area, or any like indentation like the grass?
Make a survival check to see if you can find anything that's trackable.
Ooh, roll 20.
Shit.
In whatever way that you can roll.
I rolled a 5. I rolled 20s up. I rolled a natural 1.
Yeah, you were a little panicked. You kind of freak out a little bit, and you're just like, there's got to be tracks somewhere, and you trip over one of the corpse's legs and just fall into the mud.
Oh, got my shower for today. Okay. All right. Of course this happened. Of course. Kind of just like straighten up his jacket.
Was the plan to do the same sort of funeral that we did in Barovia? Do you guys still have your pamphlets?
Dane stole one. It's in his pants.
Oh, I did steal one, didn't I?
Yeah, that might be a good idea. So he's just not there anymore?
I don't see him. He was right here this morning.
We'll probably just want to ask some guards about it.
You just do me a solid. If you see a guy named do you know any guard named Irvin Krilovich?
Krilovich. And I'm going through the RP, and I don't.
He was lieutenant. You and a cat. I know you guys came in with some guards. Wouldn't happen to be that guy, would it?
Sorry, I'm going through the RP.
I'll just go ahead and say, Jake, that this isn't a name that you're familiar with.
Okay. Yeah.
I might have insulted that guy who told us to come in. Probably deeply.
Okay.
So might not be the best if I go around and ask.
Yeah, we'll work it out. I'm sure he understands, emotions were heightened yesterday. There's a lot going on.
Yeah.
Let's call everyone together and figure out our plans for the day.
Yeah.
And then I kind of like notion for folks to join.
Yeah, Six will go to the door and like wave everybody come back over.
Yep, I'll go join him.
Cat like looks at you and is like, So Second runs over there, gives you a hug.
That's weird.
Oh, okay. So, first order of business today. And like Six looks around to see if Yeska is in our huddle. Is he?
Yeah. Sure.
All right.
He doesn't really have anywhere else to be right now.
Yeah, yeah. There's a slight problem. I think someone took the body of Father Lucian.
Took his body.
It's not there anymore.
Why would they do that?
I don't know, Yeska.
That's a really good question. And then I look at
Did we look for like a trail or like a marks of like the body being dragged away or like footprints?
I tried to look, but I thought I saw that guard from last night that I went off on. And so
Oh yeah, the one you insulted.
Yeah, very deeply. Yeah, I kind of panicked and went around the corner.
So what you're saying is somebody else needs to take a look
Yes,
because
please.
you were being stupid.
Yes.
Okay, so investigate the body's disappearance. Next up on our bracket, the
Where's Alistair when you need him? Oh wait.
Yeah, where's that crazy man? If only he was here.
Yeah.
Oof.
It's a collective moment of silence.
I'll go look for the body if I need to.
And second order of business, we need to get to see the Baron today.
Real quick, should we
Be a
maybe
good idea.
see if we can find that dude with the terrible mustache? Through it, maybe?
Hi. Yes.
I know shit went south, and we didn't get to go to our dinner. And
Ernst?
Cat,
Yes,
him.
Ernst.
Yeah, let's keep an eye out for him. I'm sure he'll be.
He'll
I'm
make
sure-
himself.
He'll probably
known.
find us,
Probably
in all
knows where
honesty.
we are.
I'm willing to bet he's some courtier of the Baron's. A courtier of the Baron.
Or one of the families, yeah.
Yeah.
Sure, there to be at the trials today.
And I need to stop by the blacksmith and get my bladed staff back. But I think that'll be on the way. If he has it done, he might have gotten attacked in the middle of the night. I don't know. If it's gone, I'm gonna be a little bit pissed, but
What'd you have written on there? Have engraved in there again?
Six like pulls out the star on there.
That was it. I thought you had like your name or something.
Oh no. So we need to go and stand as I don't know how this works. Will we need to stand as a defense for Belasco? If that's the case,
We will offer our stories as testimony.
yeah, and we should go by the orphanage at first, and kind of Six goes over to Yeska and says, "Yeska, we're going to be moving you temporarily until we can find something better to the orphanage. There's a girl and a few others there, Myrtle and Felix, two of them. They will be great friends. We helped them just like we helped you.
Is it safe there?
Yes. We're trying
He
to.
kind of like looks around like at the church now. This person, now that it's been like consecrated, and is kind of like hesitant, but he's like nods like, if you say so.
Yeah. Listen. I want to keep you here, but I don't know if that's allowed. Do you know anything about child custody laws in Barovia?
What age is adulthood?
No? All right. Well, would you be okay if we left you here? Or would you want to go to the orphanage temporarily? Maybe just for the day at least.
We can try it for the day.
For the day. Okay.
Day. I like that idea. Just the day. There's a wonderful kid there. He is just an angel. I think you'll love him. He's a real ladies' man. This is my favorite little boy. His name is
Did you forget your own son's
Oh
name?
no.
Forgot his name.
No one
is,
say it. No one say it.
His name is Reek.
There you go.
There you go.
Angel. And you're gonna love him, and he's great. I guarantee you'll have a wonderful time there. There are no longer demons there, so that's a win. It's a win for us all.
Oh,
Yeah. However, there was a kid that was murdered there a couple weeks back.
So there's
Yesterday.
so there's an open bed.
There's an open spot. More
Arx just slaps his
You know what?
hand over Cat's mouth.
It's all right. We all learn valuable lessons like not giving children acid. I didn't know that. Did you know that, Jessica? You're not supposed to handle acid.
That's
I didn't know that either. See.
Anyways, Yestra, how old are you again?
11?
11.
Okay.
Do you have any belongings here? You want to go start packing those up?
Yeah, I have some clothes. I have my books. Like I'll go grab them, and he runs off to his room. Just fucking sprints off.
quickest feet in the world.
He's
Just
so
like
fast.
Okay.
he-
Oh,
Do-
6. You didn't see it, but I gave Yeska my Bible.
Oh, good.
I figured he could probably use. Yeah, I figured he could probably use something like that.
So I had a question for y'all. Do we bring Felix with us to the courtroom?
I think bringing Felix would help us. If he agrees to go. If he
Doesn't feel up to
can't,
it.
if he can't or doesn't want to relive that, I'm not gonna make him.
That's fair.
I'm sure, like, when we go into the church, like, going to do the court case, they probably have someone cast, like, Zone of Truth or something on us.
I'm gonna need breakfast at some point.
I throw Senna one of my rations. There you go.
Okay.
there you go, have a good
That's
day.
fine. I guess if we're gonna move fast today, this will work. I try and catch it.
Yeah.
Okay, I know Roll20 is up now. Do you guys mind if we just keep with Theater of the Mind for
Yeah.
this session?
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm just using a character sheet.
because I
Yeah,
I just like having
my character
just keep
sheet
your
for if you
character
have
keep
me
your
roll.
character sheets up for rolling and stuff like that.
All I
But
have is
I'm kind of feeling the vibe right now.
I'm feeling the. I like.
I was
Really,
until you
it's like-
interrupted and
So I'm just clarifying that everyone is okay with it. I just want to make sure that we're on the same page here.
Savannah.
Actually, I lied. I
what
just
page are you on?
What? We're all on the same page.
What page is that?
There's not a page number. There's just the plan of we'll have Roll20 for rolling and character sheets,
didn't
and
they
this will
name-
be in Theater of the Mind.
Why didn't
That's
they
the word
number
I'm
the
looking
page?
for.
Okay,
We're on the same page.
Yeah.
They should have numbered the pages so we'd be on the same
Re-
page. easy.
Oh, it is. It's page 5.
real quick,
Okay.
Thomas. Are any of our stuff we got from the alchemy shop gonna be ready today?
Ooh, that's a good question.
You have drugs ready today.
Yes.
Drugs.
Drugs are ready today. Dust of Disappearance and Random Potion are ready tomorrow.
Yeah. Y'all mind if
Random
we?
potion.
Y'all mind if at some point today we managed to go to the alchemy shop? I had
If we
I
have
had a special
time.
order done.
if we have time.
I also changed one of my infusions back to the alchemy jug again.
Yeah.
Mayo?
Yeah, so that's
Is
gonna be
mayonnaise an instrument?
that's gonna be acid, and I'm gonna slowly start filling acid vials to sell. So
The kids?
No,
Dane swipes them and steals and
Don't.
sells them to the kids at the orphanage.
Yeah, he would.
no, that's a bad lesson. I know you're trying to trick me into this. I know it's a bad thing.
Noom, don't pay attention to what those fuckers say. Acid for kids is cool.
This is a
It was
test.
my,
Acid's not
it was
cool.
my
It was
first
a
pre-
joke.
It was my first present.
This is a test.
That explains
I
a
know you're
lot.
testing.
So yeah, that's happening. Just during any downtime, I'll slowly be filling
Walking
up
down the streets, and
vials.
it's just-
yeah.
Dan, can you hold the big jug while I fill up these files? Yeah, sure.
Okay. Where are you guys? You guys leave the church. Yeska's in tow. Where are you guys heading first?
Orphanage.
Yeah,
Orphanage?
we gotta drop
Orphanage.
Yeska off and stop by
And then,
or Tata
uh,
Felix.
did we learn where the Baron? What's the place where the Baron lives? What's that called?
The Burgomaster's house.
Yeah. Do we know where that is?
You
It's
do not
not
know
on
where
my
that
map.
is yet.
We could ask around. I think that's
Yeah.
probably
Mhm.
a pretty popular landmark.
As
Guys,
when we
it's
leave
so
the church,
pretty.
are they so like? Can Dane see the people digging the graves?
Yes.
Is
People are
Milivaj-
currently working on digging the sort of mass grave.
Is Milivaj out there?
Milivage is not out there.
Cool.
Oh,
He
what
needs to
side
get-
of the church is the graveyard on?
The northeast side.
Yeah,
Oh, Kat, were
went
you
over
gonna-
this, but
Got it.
Are you gonna look around, Kat?
Yeah, I'll look around really fast. So you said it was over there about 60 feet from the door.
60 feet from the door. Yeah, just off to the
Kat
east
starts,
or
like,
west.
Walking, like using her feet, like measuring foot to get an exact distance of 60 feet. She's like, nothing's here.
You can make a survival check if you'd like.
I would love.
Make a survival check.
How?
Survival check.
That we're doing theater of the mind.
then
No,
roll a
Yeah,
D20.
roll
but roll
20s up.
20s back
Involves
up.
rolling.
You see, you weren't on the same page, Jared.
Jake got on to me for not being on the same page when I was.
I
but it was
wasn't on to
Jared.
anyone. I was just asking
Look
what
at the
page it
kitty
was.
stretching her little toes.
Hold on. You said survival. I'm doing that right.
Survival, yeah. It's a d20 plus 1 for you.
Yay! I have my sheet up now. Okay, perfect.
Okay.
Look at the toes.
A little
Yeah,
toe-
Theater of the Mind just means we're not using maps.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
gotcha.
is the only thing.
Mm.
Rolling is still the same.
Yeah, not much better. Than
You also cannot find any sort of trace of where the body
Would
might
you-
have gone.
You come up with anything? No.
I know that there was a body here. I could see imprints in the ground. However, where it went, I don't know. Could have been a sex thing. I don't know.
God, cat.
I look at like a villager. I'm like, there's a lot of sex with dead bodies here. I don't know.
Please don't.
No.
Please don't mind her. Just carry on.
Look me in the eyes right now. Do you see?
Hey, let's go. Well, we're going. And I
No.
like, pull her arm, and start walking.
Okay, I'm like, all right, and I like do this to them. I'm like, fucking watch.
Yeah, that's not normal. Don't
Maybe
ask.
they do sex with dead. I don't know. I don't want to judge.
Cat, no,
All right.
stop.
Wait.
Very
hold-
distractedly digging now. Just
hold on.
Sex with dead bodies.
Before we go anywhere else, who would take a dead bodies? I mean, he's the father, and I get that, but we can think about that at all, or are we just gonna?
I have an answer. Straw. The devil. Straw. The devil.
He-
The
didn't he,
straw devil.
but didn't he just? Didn't
Is
he
a
just
straw man? Devil?
bones in there? How did he get the body? He just died.
Still has minions.
Oh, I do think we should
What
probably
would-
tell some guards about the coffin maker at some point. He's probably started that iron door.
Yeah. He's separate enough.
Oh.
Probably.
Hey,
died.
Senna, you had that guard that liked you because they kept following you around, right?
6. This is your responsibility.
You did
Yeah,
drop-
but I-
Senna, you had that guard that really likes you,
I don't think he likes me, Arch.
Yeah, when
and
we,
he kept following you. That means he likes you.
We were
I
in a
mean-
high intense, high emotional.
Trust me, I know how both genders think. They like you.
yeah, I think Coffin Maker is if he hasn't got out from under there, I think he's stewed long enough. I was just gonna wait until we got to the Baron and say this guy is the one who brought the Terskis here.
Smart.
I still would like to understand his motivation. I don't understand why he thought it'd be a good idea to bring evil into.
We can ask.
Read. More dead
I can-
bodies. equals
I can
more
charm
coffins.
him. I
Yes,
go like
and
this.
I've prepared a couple, and I hold out the component, whatever it is, for detect thoughts. I've prepared a couple more tete-a-tete thoughts. So if we need to,
What if I want to charm him?
you could do that as well. Save me some.
Maybe
magic
Kat
power.
can charm him with her womanly ways.
Hey, listen, I'm a
We're
woman.
currently walking to the orphanage,
Yeah,
by
I'm
the
walking
way,
to
so
the
just stop us whenever we get there.
You were at the orphanage.
You just wanted us to stop that conversation.
Thank you.
Arrives.
Yeah, we'll walk up to the orphanage and
Talk
knock,
to,
knock, knock.
talk to whoever answers.
Yeah, you knock on the door, and it's actually Milivaj that answers the door, and he says, "Oh, it's you guys."
Got one
Yeah.
more for you, and I point towards Jessica.
Or Jessica.
All right. Yeah, I can handle one more.
Don't
you
worry,
you look a little older. You could take care of yourself a little bit. And Jessica's like, I guess.
don't worry about him. He can
It's fine.
hold his own. He's pretty quick.
He stared the devil down, and he didn't even flinch.
That's very impressive and very unbelievable. But yeah, you guys, do you want to come in?
Yeah, just pretty quick. We actually want to grab Felix.
Oh,
I'm gonna snatch him.
Did
yeah,
they-
he's
It's like a library, right? We can
Yeah.
bring one in. We can take
Check
one
him
out.
out.
I mean, that's not how I would describe it, but
Have you been?
but yeah, if you want to, I mean, there's always the sort of like Valaki Big Brother Big Sister program. So
Yes,
you
we
wanna-
are the big brothers and sisters and
Goblin.
people.
Have you? Have
Oh,
you
I
guys?
was
Big
implying
siblings.
Arx was just the people.
Have you guys
sibling,
been?
I think.
big sibling?
Yeah. Have
Yes.
you guys been okay? Have you gotten any more children since the events from last night?
Not yet, but
I anticipate probably quite a few
I-
coming your way.
yeah. I don't know if we're gonna have the space or the ability to
We
take care
are.
of them all.
We're gonna be talking with the Baron later. Maybe we can bring that up.
I
Are you
have
going to Executioner's Court?
Is that what Velasco has been taken to?
I'm assuming you guys are all in the house at this point, or
Yeah.
in the orphanage. He closes the door. Yeah, she's standing trial today for the whole Felix thing.
Yes. And
Yeah.
where is that trial at?
We intend to make an appearance, and
It'll be at the court's house at the Reformation Center up the hill. You know,
Up the
the
hill.
big stone fortress that you can see from all different parts of the town. The
Yes,
tower.
totally.
we'll head that way.
Where on my map
shortly.
is that?
Do you know when that's gonna happen?
The circle on the right. You see where the elevation,
Oh,
where
okay.
elevation increases to a
Cool.
single point.
Yep,
We have our cartographer with us, so we're good.
Yeah,
that's 13
Points on the
my
paper.
map. My numbers don't match your numbers, but it's now 13 on here.
that's okay.
Do you
What
know
was
when
your
that's going to
question?
be?
Oh, it's supposed to start in an hour or so.
We'll head that way.
There might go. There.
We're thinking of bringing Felix, and then we are all gonna provide testimony.
You think that'll help?
No, but it will
I don't
It's-
know.
expand the story. I don't know.
It can't hurt.
See what you can do, because I don't know if there's any other way that she can avoid the gallows after what happened.
I mean, you never really know until you know, you know? You know?
It's good of
Uh,
you to at least be there to support her, even if nothing changes. But
Even if
do
her
what, you,
neck's
do
snapped,
what you can.
you're there to clap her along.
Where is Felix right now?
Oh, yeah, he's in the backyard right now, over by the well.
They're gonna say in the attic.
We better go get him and head out.
Can we do anything for you before we leave?
Stop leaving children with him.
Real quick, Milivaj. I gave Bolesco an offering of 100 gold. That's still here, right?
It should be. I saw that it was sort of put aside. We can definitely make use of that. With that, I think you've done enough. That's going to help. I don't know how much room we have at this point for any more that may come, but with what we have, the money will help. We need extra hands.
We were invited to a dinner to one of the big families in town, I guess. And I'm pretty sure we can maybe, if that can still happen, we'll try to see if we can convince them into lending some hands here at the orphanage.
Okay. See what you can do. They talk a lot about their influence on the town, but if you can make them actually have that sort of influence, we would appreciate it.
I think we can do that.
We got you, bro.
Arx just devilishly smiles.
He smiles back at you, not really knowing why.
I smile.
It
as
smiles
well.
devilishly as well, but
Yeah, we all smile at him. It's like, ah.
Six looks back. Why are you all smiling?
it's good times, good times.
And then cat goes. I don't know why. She just makes that really random sound and is like, all right. And then fist bumps the dude, and then goes and finds Reek really fast, picks him up, and says, "Hi." Hey, bud."
He was at the sort of like main table in the gathering room. It looks like he was eating breakfast, like apple slices or something.
Sick.
Kind of shitty little apples.
Apples
but
and bananas.
I pick him up and I say, "Hey, buddy, how are you doing? Are you okay?
I'm fine.
How's the toy?
It's good.
Can you
Give him the
can you
death
do it?
rattle, right?
Can you do it for me?" Okay. All right. I'm about to leave. Or do you need anything? Or do you feel like you're good here? Is everybody taking care? Is everybody being nice to you?
They are fine.
Okay. Are you do you like it here? Are you all right?
Everything is fine.
You know, you can tell me if you're not having a good day, right? You know, you can be open with me.
I'm good.
Okay. Listen, I know deep down inside you have this pain, and I want you to know that you can be open with me, okay? I care about you, all right?
I don't understand.
Okay, you're too young. What am I doing? All right. I kiss him on the forehead and I say, "Have a great day. I will be back soon." And then I put 2 gold in his pocket. I'm like, "Hey, just in case you need anything, all right?"
Okay.
I don't know if you'll need it or not. I don't.
least
Just,
it's not
I don't know what to do with kids. I'm working on it.
At least it's not a vial of acid.
Listen,
that
that's
lesson.
my first kid. I'm sorry. I'm trying to do right by you. I don't know. And I put him back down. Bye.
Cat, come on.
All right. I love you by the way.
Did we?
Okay.
Did we?
Bye.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Are we
fair.
gonna try to skip over the point where we like brief Felix on the plan, or?
Yeah,
did-
sure.
did we wanna do that?
Felix is behind. Yeah, so you go back. There's a couple of the older like early teens girls that are like washing clothes and stuff. Felix is with Myrtle actually over by the well. Looks like they're gathering water. Myrtle's trying to sort of like make him do everything, or like trying to like show him or not necessarily show him, because he also grew up on like land, but sort of like keep him active sort of thing. To like help out. But yeah, if we want, we can just sort of glaze over, you know, getting him, explaining everything to him. Felix is still very sort of like, he's sort of like in this distant phase, where he responds to sort of like inquiries and directives, but doesn't really provide much on his own. He doesn't really initiate anything. Still sort of shell shocked, but at least like physically responding.
Okay.
But yeah, he does agree to go with you though.
It's only been like
Alright,
It's only been like a little over like 12 hours maybe since the demon was extracted
He does
from him.
he does look a little tired, like there's bags under his eyes. Looks like maybe he didn't sleep super well last night, if at all.
I think
And
he
then there was the
did.
whole thing with the vampires overrunning town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That small incident happened. Like, yeah, it happens.
That small incident. Yeah.
Okay. Do we need to
Well-
do anything else here?
I don't think so. I guess head straight to the Baron's house.
Milivosh will be back
I think we're not going.
later today to drop Felix off.
Hey, keep an eye on Reek, Milivosh. I swear, I'll come back and I'll break your legs off.
Hey,
I know how to
fine.
I know how to take care of soulless children.
I'm sorry. You're right. I apologize. I'm having a rough day so far.
I thought they were gonna die last night, and I come here. And I'm just. It's been a long day.
It sounds like a rough couple of days.
It's. Listen, do you see?
No,
me?
I
Really
understand.
has.
I was under some sort of demon sickness for the last week.
Yeah, I mean, you've had it worse than both of us, honestly.
I almost died.
You know what? I give him a hug. I'm like, dude, you're.
Oh,
you're
we're
killing-
hugging. Okay.
Yeah, you're killing it. I'm so
She
proud of you.
likes- She likes her
I slip
hugs.
him 2 gold.
She does it all the time. Just accept it.
I slip him 2 gold. I put it in his frocket. Say,
Okay. Didn't have a. I didn't know this shirt had a frocket, but okay.
no, okay, he doesn't have a frocket. I just like poke really hard in his shirt and it rips, and I just drop 2 coins in his shirt.
That was one of
They
2
fall
shirts I
onto the
have.
floor.
Okay, I dropped 1 more in there. Buy another shirt. All right.
Okay.
Buy a shirt with a frocket.
Yep. We'll see. Are you guys bringing Felix back later?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll see you then.
And then we
All right. So you
Mhm.
guys head out of the orphanage. Where are you going next? You guys, there's like 3 different locations that you guys have bounced around on.
yeah. So we could.
We were going straight to the courthouse because it's
Yeah,
like
we
an
can
hour.
skip over the blacksmith right now.
Okay.
Do you want to skip it or just glaze over the roleplay there?
I mean, if it's, do you think we'd be able to like go up there really fast, grab it, and go and still?
It's
get
on the
there in
way.
time? Okay. Okay.
And it, yeah,
It's
we
literally
still have an
literally
hour.
on that road.
Okay.
You'll pass by the blacksmith.
Yeah, if we're stopping by, yeah, we'll stop in and pop in. Hey, you get the bladed staff done?
Holy shit! Yeah, you guys are okay. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got it done. I got it done last night. I understand why you guys didn't come by. Everyone locked themselves in.
Yeah, pretty rough night. Thank you. This and I take it like this. Excellent job, that star. Just what I wanted.
Perfect. Sharpened it for you. You'll have advantage on your next 10 attacks with that bladed staff.
All right.
Fucking cool.
So
And
put
I
that on like a resource tab or something.
I toss him a gold piece.
Oh, appreciate it.
Is it minted?
Yes.
Oh. I just thought it'd be funny if you tossed him an unminted gold piece.
Yeah, just like,
It's
hey,
okay,
have this
Savannah's
fucking
sleepy.
nonsense.
Savannah's sleepy. Ignore the stupid things she says.
Okay. We proceed.
You guys head back down the road and you head up to what has been referred to. There's been a couple ways that this building has been referred to. You guys noticed it among the first 2 like main things whenever you were looking down on Vallaki from the hill as you approached with Aragol, a few days ago. There was like 2 prominent buildings. There was the church on one end with its tall steeple. And then there was a sort of natural rise in the town in elevation to this one sort of hill, and atop it there was this kind of intense stone fortress with a multi-story tower as a part of it. You've heard it referred to as up the hill. You remember back whenever there was a guy who was tearing down posters, festival posters, and he was put in the stocks. That's when you first heard about, the Baron holding court. Was that they said that he was going to be sent up the hill for the court session the next day. Fun fact, not sure if any of you would have noticed this.
He didn't make it, did he?
That was the guy that got pulled out of got ripped out of the stock and killed.
I figured.
Okay, that's what I thought.
What do you want us to do about that, man?
Nothing. I'm
Yeah,
nothing.
it's just-
It's just a fun
No,
fact. It's a little
yeah.
tidbit.
It's an Easter egg.
It's a
Little
little Easter
tidbit.
egg.
Just a little know-how.
Pretty sure you guys wouldn't have noticed. So I just wanted to sneak that in there.
Got
It's
it.
tried and executed before even being tried.
Well, how do you do for you kids?
So you've heard it referred to as up the hill, sort of colloquially. Milovaj just referred to it as the Reformation Center.
That's what it was.
So as you guys are walking up the hill, the land sort of guides you to this location. The building itself is hard to miss. Like, it leads you right there. And there is this well-fortified stone complex surrounding this multi-story tower. It appears to be something that could very well defend against an invasion, but is currently being used to house prisoners who just aren't happy enough. As you approach the building, you see that there is a sort of like main entrance, or the roads, the road pathway leads you to this sort of this separate sort of like first floor or like 2-story like side building essentially. This side section of the complex, and bigger stone steps lead up to these open wooden double doors. That lead into this building, and right now 2 guards are flanked on either side of the door, but the doors are open.
Guess we'll walk in if they do not
We'll
protest.
Approach the gate and
Yeah.
see if
So
they get stopped.
they're sort of like just standing at attention. They're not stopping you at all. They're just on sort of like on duty there. You notice, Cinna, you would notice that one of them is one of the guards you fought alongside.
Oh.
Not any of the like 2 notable ones really. Not the one that was like injured and was and killed the one crazy vampire by using like Cat's shoulder as like a steadying aim. It wasn't the one that was sort of like defending you in church. It was just one of the other ones,
Okay.
one of the other like unnamed guards that you fought alongside.
I'll nod. to
And he
them
sort
as
of like
yeah.
nods.
I'll nod
He sort of
back.
like nods in recognition at you. Okay, so you enter this room and do see that it is a courtroom. This large 2-story courtroom. It has a pitched roof with rafters. It doesn't have like 2 stories to it, but it extends upwards to the height of a 2nd story with pitched rafters. You see several wooden benches are separated from the front of the room by a 2-foot-high wooden divider fence. It's as you would picture a courtroom, essentially. There is a large ornate chair that sits on a raised dais at the end of this room, like it would be a throne. There are 4 regular guards and 2 lieutenants that are positioned around this courtroom. It looks like the 4 normal guards are sort of put at the corners in the main sort of seating area where the benches are. And then there are 2 lieutenant guards that are flanking either side of the raised dais that leads up to the throne. In the front 2 benches, the ones that are closest to the little like raised fencing area, in the front 2 benches sit 4 individuals, 2 on either bench, with shackles on their wrists and ankles, as you would with prisoners. There are, on the right-hand side, there are 2 adults that you don't recognize, just random Vallaki commoners that you may or may not have seen in the crowd. But on the left, you also see 2 adults that you recognize in the bench. One of them, as you would expect, is Headmistress Belasco. The other one is Henrik van der Voort, the owner of the coffin shop.
Oh, good! He's out from under the iron door.
Does he have does he have any noticeable like markings on his body by chance?
Injuries.
Any noticeable markings? It looks like his he sort of like turns to see you come in. It looks like his nose is bruised, and like his nose might be a little like crooked and sort of like swollen and darkened. Could be from the iron door. Could be from someone else hitting him. Hard to tell. You weren't there for that part of the story. The rest of the benches are empty. There's like 3 or 4 rows of benches. It's not huge, with the first ones being taken up. But in the back row of benches, there's one man sitting on the bench as a sort of like audience member, and you recognize him as Ernst Larnack, serving man for the noble Wachter family, and he turns to see you and sort of waves a little hand at you.
Dane will go like this and like get his mustache. And rinse to the bag.
Aww.
Those cute rants.
Aww.
I didn't notice as I was twirling my mustache.
Yeah, well, I was
I
twirling
was
my
looking
face.
at my cat, so I didn't notice either.
Okay, yeah. So the prisoner's up in front, guards sort of like stationed around. At this point, Baron is nowhere to be seen. It looks like they're kind of like waiting, and Ernst Larnack is there and has sort of waved at you.
I'm gonna go figure out how we can enter our testimonies. And I walk off to talk to one of the nearest guards.
Yeah, sure. So the guard is standing there. He says, "You here to attend to witness court today?"
Yeah, and we have all been a part of both of the two stories over there to the left, Belasco and Heinrich. How are we able to submit our testimonies?
Wait for their cases to come up. Baron will ask for defense. At that point, you can step in to defend them. Otherwise, best if you don't interrupt.
Okay, gotcha. Thank you.
At the front of the room, another thing that you notice is that there are two tables that are situated there, sort of like in front of the raised dais, as a sort of like place where a prosecution or defense may sit and present or something like that. Like I said, if you can imagine a courtroom from a TV show or something, it looks
like a courtroom from a TV show.
I've been watching a lot of court cams, so don't worry. I've got like the perfect image in my mind.
Perfect.
I just watched a lot of crime shows.
And
Okay, where do you guys sit?
as close to Ernst as I can get.
Okay, yeah. You can scoot over there a little bit.
I want to be in the splash row. Splash zone.
Just like here's
Splash
Ernst, here's
zone?
Dane.
Where's the splash zone at? I want to be right there.
What define the splash zone for me?
If someone was to be, let's say, guillotined.
Guillotined?
Guillotined.
You're looking around, and it does not appear as if there is a device for execution at this location.
Okay,
At least
but-
within this room.
Okay, so I go up to the nearest guard and I say, hello, madam or mister?
Yes,
Where's the splash zone?
I
Listen,
don't understand.
Okay, let me elaborate.
You don't have splash
Please
zones.
do.
If there was to be a public execution here, where would I get the most drippings?
Oh, you're looking for the town square. That's where the
Okay.
gallows are.
Okay, not here.
There's a stage right there. You've seen the stocks, yes?
No, yeah, I was just wondering if not here. We don't not gonna.
No, this is not very public. If there's to be an execution, the town square is much more public.
Gotcha. If there was like crying, where would that?
Crying.
Where would that, like, if she was like, no, I didn't do it, the kids were fine, would that be like at the front, you think?
That would likely be closer to the front, yes. If the defense is crying, I would say you would want to be, close. So like probably the bench behind the accused.
Could I like maybe like sit next to her and like?
You can't sit next to her, no. That is for the accused. Also, don't talk to her.
All right. Okay. Yeah, that's fair. Okay.
We will remove you if you talk to her.
Yeah. Okay. I don't want it. Okay. All right. And I give him a hug or them. I don't know who they are. Just give
Okay,
them a-
you're gonna have to make a grapple check on this one.
Yes. Fuck. Yes.
Oh no.
Is that just a strength check?
Yeah, well, it's not. It's a contested
I thought-
athletics check.
Oh, okay. Gosh, that's what I wanted to make sure. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. People.
God, please.
We gotta talk to her about touching.
Okay. All right. Well,
He puts a hand on you and says, "No, no touching."
That's fair. Okay, and then she runs away, or she briskly walks away, but in a very quick fashion. Like she's very uncomfortable at this point.
But
Yeah.
is she still shaking her hips as she does so?
Oh yeah, no, she's got like that like sassy walk going on. She's like bam, 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 bam.
And Six will sit, listen to what the guard was saying, sit behind Belasco.
Okay, so Cat and Six sit behind the accused bench.
Yeah, and I'll have Felix with me.
Okay, I would say there's enough room for 3 people per bench.
Okay.
For the benches of the accused, they're sort of like sitting on either side with a space between them. And then there's also Ernst sitting in the back, with Dane sitting really, really close to him. In fact, just there, with how close he's sitting, there's probably room for 2 more people to sit on that bench. There shouldn't be, but there is.
I like whisper in Ernst's ear and I go, dude, I'm so sorry I missed that dinner. It was like the whole vampire thing. I hope.
It's my employer completely understands.
Cool.
I was
cool.
going to speak with you after this whole affair to say that the invitation is still extended to you. Just move to tonight.
Oh yeah. We'll talk about it, but I'm pretty sure we'll try to be there still.
Okay, we would very much appreciate that.
Don't fucking say
Yeah.
shit to him, Dane.
Looks over at Kat, flips her off, and goes back to talking to.
Arx and Cinna, where do you guys want to sit?
I'm gonna sit behind Six, like in the bench behind him.
I'll
Okay.
be next to Arcs.
Okay. So
Law and
so
Order
Dana's-
Barovia.
What's that? Law and Order Barovia. Here we go.
So excited.
Oh wait, that's
Okay.
copyright.
I don't
Shut
think
up.
you know how much Law and Order I've watched.
Cut that
I
out.
haven't watched
Attitude.
any.
Watch all.
So. Oh yeah, my whole thing about how I hope you guys are like up on your court lingo, that was a fucking bluff. I know
Okay,
nothing
yeah,
about
because
that.
I fucking
Because
goofed.
I am
guys.
absorbed in the true
Which is
crime.
fine. Which is
I
fine
even caught up
because
on the
Unity.
new
this is
Law and
its
Order
own-
series.
this is probably gonna be a justice system that you are not as familiar with.
I watched
so
a ton
can
of court
make
camp,
shit
like
up.
I said. I am ready.
I've been watching
Wow.
Arrested Development. There's a lot of court scenes in that show. Let me tell you.
Can't
No
cut, we
touching.
can't
Oh, that's
see your
where no
face
touching came
anymore.
Yes, thank you. Okay, so as you guys
Oh.
are getting settled in, you hear one of the lieutenants at the front of the stage, or by the dais, says, "All arise for the honorable Burgomaster of Valaki, Baron Vargas Volakovich." As you guys all stand up, if you do.
Triple B.
Yeah.
Dang.
same.
Whoa. Did you lose some weight, Rand?
Stand.
Oh,
As you all
thank
rise.
I don't.
Looking slender, dude.
It's just the t-shirt.
Through the door, there's a door in the back of them. So there's two doors in this room. One of them leads off to the right. In the like both of them are past the little fence. One of them leads off to the right. One of them leads back behind the wall behind the dais. And through that back door comes in a large, imposing man. That you could only assume is Baron Vargas. This is the first time that you have seen this man, the Burgomaster of Valaki. Large, imposing. He is overweight, but definitely looks like he uses his mass to assert his presence.
Absolute unit.
He has this white hair that is streaked with aggressive locks of black. It's as if someone with salt and pepper hair told the pepper in their hair to get in line. And eyes that could bore through tombstones. His gaze expresses expectation and control. And he wears this smile that looks like it is stapled to his face. And he moves to go and sit down on the throne. Let me see if I can remember the voice I came up with for him today. Be seated. I see we have a small audience today. After the chaos that erupted in our fine town yesterday, it should come to reason that this day in court is very important. May I remind our guests, as he sort of like eyes the group of you, and then over
Arx is
to
waving.
Dane, who's sitting separately in the back by Ernst, to keep interruptions to a minimum. Justice will be served by my hand. Who is first? And one of the lieutenants has a sort of sheet of paper in front of him, and he says, "This is like a little bit of a thing before we get to you guys. You can do things if you want. I'm not saying this is like completely sort of block you out cutscene, but it's gonna be just give me a second.
Before we do this,
talk
can we
a bit.
take a bio break? I really.
We can. I
Yes,
would love
please.
to actually.
I drank
have to
too
pee
much
so
tea.
bad.
I need a
pee
drink.
so
I'm
bad.
dying.
Great.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Perfect.
what
Good job,
happened?
everyone.
Oh, whoops,
Alright,
that was
I'll
me.
be right back.
What happened?
Well, I'll
There we
read
go.
legal
Alright, we're
terms.
going
Fantastic.
to take a quick bio break, so we'll be right back.
All right, you guys get ready to get back into it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
let's
let's
go.
go. Do some
Yeah.
court.
Good, yeah.
Okay. So, one of the lieutenants stands at the front, has a parchment in front of him, and says, one of the guards grabs the so in the front, the two Valakians that you didn't recognize. One was an older man, sort of late middle-aged man, and the other one was a middle-aged woman. One of the guards pulls up the older middle-aged man. And sort of like brings him to the front and sits him down in the in one of the tables that's up there. And Vargas says, the lieutenant says, Sigurd Rilski, age 53, accused of absence at the Wolf's Head Jamboree last week. And the Baron turns to him and says, Mr. Rilski, you know that festival attendance is mandatory. Do you have any defense? And the man Sigurd in the chair says, Your Honor, there was an unexpected tragedy. My mother, she became ill just a few days before the festival. The sickness, it got bad very quickly. She died the morning of the jamboree, and I was so grief-stricken. I forgot what day it was. I was planning on attending, I swear. And Vargas turns to him and says, he writes something down. He's got like something in front. He doesn't have like a judge desk or anything. He says, very well, Sigurd Rilski, you are hereby sentenced to 5 days in the stocks. That way, you will not miss the upcoming festival of the Blazing Sun. And the man Sigurd Rilski is sort of like pulled up by his chains by the guard, and Sigurd says, "The stocks. Thank you. You are so merciful, Baron. I will not falter in my loyalty to Vallaki again." And the guard sort of like escorts him out down this sort of like aisleway between all the benches and out of the courthouse. And the doors like sort of like close behind him. They have been closed, but they open and then be closed.
Cat's clapping. Cat's like, whoa, yeah!
Please keep your enthusiasm to a minimum. It is good, though, to see happiness in proper justice. Who is next? And he says, all will be well. Who is next? And the woman is sort of stood up and escorted to the front table there. And he says, and the lieutenant who with the parchment in front of him says, Mrs. Ivana Mironova, age 39, accused of conspiracy against the burgomaster's rule. Vargas turns to her and he says, Mrs. Mironova, I am aware that there are multiple dissenters among the populace, a group that you are merely a part of. Tell me who leads this group, and your sentence may be lighter. And at this, the woman, Ivana Mironova, she continues to sit silently. She doesn't open her mouth or respond at all. From this angle, it's kind of hard to see. Dane, you can't see her face at all. Cinna and Arx, it's a little blocked. Cat and Six, though, from the angle, though, you can see that her face remains very firm and very passive and just sort of stares right at Vargas, but he doesn't respond. The rest of you can just sort of see like her posture remains very, very resolute, very like unmoving, but still very passive. And with no response, Vargas says, Mrs. Mironova, I see here that your son, Edward, aged 14, was sentenced to Tier 1 punishment for theft 6 months ago. I would have hoped that his correction would have encouraged your family to adhere to the happy code of our noble town. It seems further convincing is required. Ivana Mironova, you are hereby sentenced to 15 days of tier 2 punishment. All will be well. And with that, the guard next to her sort of stands her up by her chains and begins walking her out to the sort of side door that is there behind the thing. The entire time, though, she accepts everything, doesn't fight back, but doesn't she seems very proud for that whole situation. Like, she doesn't believe that she did anything wrong. And Ernst actually sort of he doesn't need to lean over far to you, Dane, because you're still sitting very close, but he still sort of like leans into you and he goes, impressive.
When this is all over, do you mind telling me like what the different tiers of punishment are?
Yeah, I can just before the next person comes up, I could just sort of cover that for you right now, real quick.
Thank you.
He's whispering this to us to be sort of like discreet about this.
Yeah.
Tier 1 punishment, we'll call that convincing. The people who work at the Reformation Center, they use some types of mental magics to sort of suggest to the prisoner that there is a better way of thinking than what they currently are. It's a bit of minimal reprogramming, so to speak.
And that's what that lady's son had happened to him?
Yes, I heard about this woman. Her son came back a different young man than he was.
Let's see.
Tier 2, what she was just sentenced to. We'll call that scared straight. It's more magical application to the mind, this time using one's own personal fears and nightmares in order to convince the prisoner that their life could be much worse, and that the place that we have here in Vallaki is one that they should relish.
I see.
There's a couple more after that. The next tier after that is sensory deprivation. They take away all of your senses for an amount of time, blind you, deafen, silence everything. It's like being dead. There's simply nothing. To educate the Vallakians to understand that they should be lucky to be alive at all.
I mean, look at this beautiful town we're in. All of us are lucky to be here.
Indeed. And the final tier, tier 4, well, those who are sentenced to tier 4 punishment are never heard from again. We don't know exactly what they do. We know that they don't kill them because executions tend to be more public, even though they are rare, but they are taken away for good.
See. Thank you for telling me all that.
Sure.
I whispered. Oh man, what was it? Never mind. I was gonna say something. I whispered to Sitch. Maybe we should have grabbed like a book from the bookstore about the law here in town.
I don't think they would sell these things to the public.
Yeah, maybe not. The best we can do is hope. You know what we have to say. Help.
Yeah.
We need to. Hey, maybe if we just ask.
Kat, where are you sitting again?
I'm
Next to me.
Next to 6.
Okay. Next time you.
So
next
right
time
in front of you, Senna.
Yeah. Next time you like burst, like you pipe in and burst up, I'm just gonna like knock you on the head.
Hey, so maybe we can just ask them. You know, maybe they'll tell us if we just like, hey, can you like give me like the 411 on things? And I'd rather be like, yeah, for sure, man.
Yeah, it's a little too late for that right now. But
I can ask.
So
them.
at that, this has been enough of a little bit of a break.
Yeah.
The Baron says, "Who is next?" And at that, Henrik is stood up by his chains, and the lieutenant who's been reads off and says, "Henrik van der Voort, age 67, owner of the coffin shop, accused of harboring 6 vampires in his home and of summoning the devil who must not be named." And he is sat down in the bench ahead of the low fence there in front of the dais. And Vargas looks straight daggers into this man, still with that stapled smile to his face, which I meant to be wearing this entire time, but I keep forgetting. Mr. Vandervoort, this is a very serious accusation. By the investigating of our guards, along with eyewitness accounts, the vampires are known to have erupted into our happy streets from your shop and home. Following them was the darkness that for 100 years we have managed to keep removed from happy Vallaki. Tell me, for what cause did you betray your people in this way? And Henrik looks.
Sucker.
What'd you say?
I said, yeah, you sucker.
Henrik looks fairly like defeated and defeated, but like unfazed by this. He seems to like not be very like intimidated, but also very like.
How are his shoulders? Is he like
Yeah.
slumped over, or is he like standing proud?
He looks kind of like slumped over.
Okay.
We'll say that. Looked kind of slumped over, and he says, 1 month ago, I was approached by a nobleman who called himself Von Holtz. He paid me very handsomely to accept a shipment of crates and store them in my shop. I knew nothing of the contents. Vargas looks at him and says, how dare you try to lie to me, Mr. Vandervoort? There is no noble family in Vallaki with the name Von Holtz. Tell me who really set you up for this. And Henrik says, he told me he was from outside the walls. I swear it. And Vargas looks very, very bothered. His smile doesn't leave, but he looks to be having a little bit of trouble keeping his emotions in, and says, Coffin Maker, 73 fine Wallachians are dead after last night's events. Dozens more injured, and our sense of peace and safety shaken. That blood is on your hands. I hereby sentence you to execution 2 days hence during the festival of the blazing sun. Our celebration will be greatened with your justice.
Arx raises his hand, or
Yeah.
their hand.
Hey, Six, we gotta stay for that. We gotta stay for that.
Just raises their hand to see if the judge will let him talk.
Let me stay for-
He doesn't seem to notice your hand being raised, and he says, until the festival, lock him up in tier 2 punishment so that the end of his life will know no happiness.
Mr. Burgermaster, I have a question for him.
All will be well. What is it?
So he also stole some.
Henrik is sort of like standing up.
Arx, don't, Arx, don't, Arx. Celebrate his death.
Fine, never mind. And Arx just whispers up the 6. I wasn't gonna mention the bones. I was just gonna say he took something from Father Lucian.
Celebrate his death.
Okay.
Celebrate his death.
What are
just
you?
wanted
What
to know
are you?
why.
What did you want to ask him?
Celebrate his death.
Why he took something from Father Lucian.
What did you take from Father Lucian, Henrik Vandervoort?
Oh, fuck.
And Henrik says, I was told to purchase some human remains from the gravedigger who works there. I don't know anything about them. And Vargas looks at him and just says, disgusting, disgraceful. Get him out of my sight. And Henrik is forced out towards the side door. that is at the head of the courtroom there. And Vargas takes a second to breathe, calm himself down, take a drink of water.
While he's doing that, Sif, we need to arrange a meeting with Heinrich. Perhaps one of the guards that we fought with might be able to help us.
Can
that'd be
Arcs
good.
hear you guys whispering?
Ark, shut up.
If you're leaning in, I guess. 'Cause
Yeah,
we're just like back to back.
Yeah, you're next to Senna, so
Mhm.
Arcs is gonna lean in and whisper, "Hey Senna, you can talk to the guard who likes you and have him set up the meeting."
I don't know who you're talking about, but okay. You weren't there. You didn't
I'm
see his
trying to
name.
find. I know, but I was gonna try and use that as an example, but okay, fine. The guard that likes you, I bet, will set up the meeting if you ask.
Arks, you don't know what you're talking about.
The one that followed you into the church.
That we were fighting together with? Look,
Yeah,
we're
that one.
kind of busy right now. Let's just pay attention. I think the lady's about to come up. I think Belastro's turn is up.
and Vargas says, "Who is next?" And Headmistress Belasco is stood up by her chains and led to the front table. And the lieutenant says, Ms. Claudia Belasco, age 61, headmistress for the St. Andrew's Home for Displaced Youth, accused of harboring a demon who took the form of one of the orphans. And Vargas says, Headmistress Belasco, let me guess. You were also unaware that you were in possession of a dark force. And Headmistress Belasco says, I swear I didn't know. They were there. You can ask them. I swear they did. I genuinely had no idea. I just thought that it was an orphan. They were someone who had lost their parents, and I have taken them in. And Vargas looks out and says, would any of you like to stand and defend the accused as she suggests? Two may come and defend.
Six looks back and he goes just looks to the Baron and gives a slight bow and goes, one moment while we discuss, please.
Very well.
You have to go. You have to.
Felix.
Who's gonna go with them?
Felix needs to go.
Good idea.
Yeah, that's a great idea. That's a great
Okay. Honorable Baron, it'll be I, Noom, and the child, Felix.
Interesting. Please approach the bench, and motions towards the other empty table. There's two empty tables up there. Belasco's at one with one of the guards, and motions to another table where two chairs are sitting behind there. So here's how this is going to work. There's a little bit of a mechanic behind it.
All right.
Is that you just saw the sentencing for harboring darkness in Vallaki, essentially. You have been given a chance to testify, to argue in defense of the accused here, and you need to make a series of arguments that, with each one, you would get a persuasion check for the Vargas to convince him to lower the sentence. With each argument, if this is going to be on you as well. If it's a good argument that's very sound in logic that I
The
personally
DC
can't
will
poke any
adjust.
holes in,
Yeah.
either the DC will adjust or I'll give you advantage or disadvantage or some kind of combination of the two. And each sort of success will help out her sentencing, and failures will do the opposite.
All right.
So he looks at you and
Yeah.
says, "This is the boy who possessed the spirits of a demon."
The boy who was possessed by the spirit of a demon. Yes.
I see. Headmistress Belasco invited this child to stay in her home for other children in the similar circumstances. Tell me, why should she not take responsibility for the damage that he has caused?
She had no knowledge that this child harbored a demon. In fact, the child himself had absolutely no ability to talk or even give any hint that this was the case. You see, Felix, have you been made aware of the story of young Felix here?
Educates me.
Yes, Armor Baron. Felix was Felix, didn't you live outside of the walls of Vallaki?
Yes, that's true. I lived in a farm with my
in a
parents.
farm in the dangerous dark outside. One day, young Felix came across a locket that was cursed, and this young innocent child didn't know what he was about to grasp, but as he touched it, just a curious child, he was inhabited by and possessed by a demon that took control of him and made him, and he kind of like looks to Felix and pats him on the shoulder, made him do unspeakable things to his parents. Young Felix was brought in to the orphanage. The demon convinced everyone, would even have to convince the guards in front of the gates that Felix was not a demon. Or the demon inside of Felix was his true self. He would have to be that convincing. Was brought into the orphanage, and the young man that was thrown out the window, Cedric, I believe his name was, he had found this locket and had given it to Belasco, saying that one of the children had it and thought that it had been stolen. So he did what any responsible citizen of Vallaki would do and gave it to his superior. And Madame Belasco had it stored inside the desk. And that's when I noticed it, as we were bringing children that we had found on our journey from the village of Barovia to Vallaki. We had come across children out in the wilderness and brought them to the orphanage so that they may find safe passage home. But that's besides the point. I was curious about this locket because it stood out. It seemed quite valuable. So we noticed Felix was acting a little strange. So we slept the night, taking careful consideration what our next steps would be. And the next morning, we got up, went to the orphanage, and couldn't find Felix. And that's when I went upstairs to see if one of the girls that we had dropped off was safe. And I looked through the window and saw the demon inside of Felix staring back at me. And that's when me and points to the group over there sitting at Cats and Arcs, and then to Dane up in the back. That's when we defeated the demon in the upstairs, in the attic of the orphanage. And that's where the demon had told me personally about the locket and how he wished to have it back, how Cedric stole it from him and he needed it back. That was his, what's the word?
Tether.
Thinking of. Yeah, that was his tether to this world. Then we defeated the demon, and young Felix here, Honorable Baron, look at him. How sad he looks, how is just pain, it just really tinges at your heart. See a child suffer like this. But we started to help him recover, gave him some advice, and I went downstairs to go retrieve the locket so it may be brought to you, or give it to the guard so it can be brought back. We don't need such a dangerous item in a home with children, with dozens of children. I tried to go in there, but the guard barred me from going to retrieve it so I could give it back. But yes, Honorable Baron Vargas, Headmistress Belasco was completely unaware of the situation that she had been thrust upon.
A very interesting story. Go ahead and roll persuasion with advantage.
Okay, good.
Nice.
Oh, thank God. Oh,
There we go. Finally.
Your story has many details. Enough that it seems unreasonable for you to have made up the entire story.
very wise, Baron.
The child there and the headmistress seem to be accepting and unfazed by your retelling, which makes me believe that this is not a surprise to them, further backing up what you have said. Also, the fact that this demon had gotten past multiple officials prior to reaching the orphanage. It would make sense that she had no reason to suspect to be the first line of defense against such darkness. You mentioned this locket involved with the tether of the demon. Is this locket present here? And one of the lieutenants actually steps forward and says, "We brought it here with us as evidence." And he holds out the locket on a silver metal chain, and it is just a small circular locket. It's closed currently with an X over it. And he motions it forward and says, "Let me inspect that locket." And he looks at the locket and sort of like looks it over, and he opens up the locket.
I am still. We do not know if it harbors, if the demon has been shunted back in to the locket. Just for your safety, Baron.
He shows it to you and says, "It appears normal to me, though there is an inscription on it in a language that I cannot read."
Just yet.
We are outsiders, Baron. We may know languages that we have a very wide selection of languages that we know of. Perhaps one of us could translate it.
I will allow you to look at the item and see if you are aware of this knowledge.
Very well.
And the lieutenant takes it from him and brings it over to you, Six, to look at the locket. You look at it. It is not a language that you know.
Okay. Would I be able to know, like a rough approximation of what?
Would you be able to
language?
recognize the language
Yeah.
to at least know what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah. Roll me a DC 14 history check.
Sounds like
Oof.
Dane
I'm
will raise his hand.
unaware of this language.
Dane will like raise his hand.
Perhaps my companions would know.
Those in the back. I will allow this.
Thank
I'm
you.
very curious about what it may say.
I do a curtsy. To make sure that they know that I'm serious.
I'll walk over to where Cat's at, so we can like look at it at the same time.
Okay.
Really peruse it.
I'm also checking to see if either of you immediately recognize the language.
Okay. Yeah, I know common, goblin, and infernal. I thought it was infernal.
I've got common, abyssal, and infernal.
Yeah.
Alright.
So none of you, your language set says +2 extra on it. Jared, would you care to elaborate what those languages are?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. It's on my it's on my D&D Beyond. I'm sorry.
And I know for sure you said common, elven, and goblin.
Yeah,
Goblin.
you said goblin as well. Yeah, and
The
then
other one I don't know. Let me check.
So you should have one more.
I do have one more. And I'm not gonna fib and be like, it's whatever you think it is, Thomas.
No, you don't know what language it is. I've been very sneaky about it.
Mine's-
I know.
Man, too bad I didn't take the helm of comprehending languages for this one.
Yeah,
Is
I'm
That was nice in Storm
I'm
King's
a
Thunder.
third caster, so I don't
I
have
I
that.
fucked this one. I know orc.
that's right.
That's
you-
right. You do know orc. I
that's
remember
right, I
that.
remember that now. Yeah.
Do you,
Yeah,
Thomas? I'll also stand and check it out.
I'll stand and check it out, but I guarantee I don't know it.
Mine's
Yes.
celestial, common, and elvish.
Mine's common, goblin, elvish.
Senna, you seem to be the only person to be able to read this locket. You recognize it as celestial language.
You bitch.
And you look at this locket, and there is an inscription around the inside of it. It's very plain. It's just plain metal on the outside with an X carved into it, and it is pretty plain metal on the inside. There's no picture, there's no mirror, no nothing, but there is a little inscription around it. And the inscription reads, if I can, I had it open. The inscription reads in Celestial, "Let darkness hide from the gaze of the light."
Your Honor, this is a language known as Celestial. This inscription reads, "Let darkness hide from the..." What was it?
Let
Gaze
darkness
of the
hide from
light.
the gaze of the light.
My brain was like, was it raise? It wasn't raise. It was gaze of the light. And I reiterate that.
What do you, as the defense, then believe this means
This
for the situation with the demon?
to my crude understanding, this locket seems like it might have been a prison for the demon. And when it was opened by Felix, it gave the demon an avenue to escape. I don't have a lot of experience with the arcane in that matter, but maybe one of my other kin can.
Yes.
I am curious as to how such a demon prison would be made.
Demons have been kept in cages of sorts for all of at least in the history of Selena, the land of which we hail from. Demons have been kept in cages of all sorts, some of them big, some of them small.
What is required to imprison a demon?
I am not completely sure. I just know of stories of people, great holy warriors, being able to shunt demons inside of
Common object.
common objects, cages.
So you say it takes great power in order
Yes.
to put away such darkness.
Yeah, a demon typically requires a holy warrior of equal to or greater than strength.
That would explain then how the demon hid from the eyes of so many who were seeking out and trying to prevent this darkness from coming into our town. Make another persuasion check with advantage. or convincing of this power. Okay. This seems valid. There is one last thing that I just cannot seem to shake my head around, is that Headmistress Belasco here is charged with the personal care and safety of the children who have no family to return to. We have agreed that she is not the first line of defense against such darkness, and so cannot be inspected to repel such evil that is belonging to other forces in this town. But under her watchful eye, this demon did, you say, kill one of the other children, Cedric. Despite her not being expected to understand that the demon had come into her home, she should be expected to see when evil is ready to strike all citizens are. How then do you justify her negligence here?
Honorable Baron, she and the other kids that help out around the orphanage have been strung out. At the time, Headmistress Belasco was the only one, really, the only adult taking care of everyone. She had a helper, Milivage, but at the time he was sick and couldn't even stand up on his own, let alone help around. The orphanage has fallen. Nope, frankly, honestly, Baron, taking care of orphans is, not many people want to do it. Not many people volunteer. Madame Belasco, out of the goodness of her heart, has made a career out of it. And we tried to give some of our money to her to help around, but frankly, it was just a case of she has been stretched out at her wit's end for far too long and needs assistance. Those kids need assistance.
I see. Make another persuasion check with advantage. You're doing a very good job at forming a logical argument. Okay. Johnson says, so what you are saying is that she currently, with the situation with the caretaker and what hands are available, forces out of her control kept her from being able to fulfill her duty as protector, guardian of these children.
Yes, Baron.
I see. Unless there is more that you care to say, I believe I have come to a decision with the fate of Headmistress Claudia Belasco.
I believe that is all for that matter.
Typically, harboring a dark force, such as a demon, as you have seen, is grounds for execution, public execution. Something that, thankfully, we do not have to perform very often. But considering the circumstances that have been laid out in front of me, what I believe is proper is to minimize her punishment to sentencing to tier 1 for 2 weeks so that we may correct her mind of thinking to be as efficient as possible when it comes to caring for orphans. Her resources are stretched thin, but if she is to be in this leadership role, there is much that we expect from her. And on top of this, if Valachians are not prepared to volunteer for this duty that it is so apparent we need more help with, perhaps this is something that freshly freshly corrected individuals would be willing to assist in, and I will make that happen. These are my decisions. All will be well. And you see the guard stands up, Headmistress Belasco, and she breathes this huge sigh of relief because when she walked into that building, she was pretty sure that she was going to be sent to death.
Mhm.
And she is led out that side door into other spaces in this building. And Vargas goes on Vargas stands up and says, if that is all the accused for today, then court is adjourned.
Six gets up and gets back to the bench.
I think Kat like high fives the shit out of. She's like so excited. She's like, great fight.
And high fives, but it's like trying to take care of Felix right beside him.
I got you. Got that low key. Bam.
Yeah, Felix gets into it. Like he does it, but he's like happy, but he has no real connection to Belasco. But like he helped. Things are not as bad as they could have been, you know. One less death on his hands, essentially. So he's there.
I think Felix has a higher KD ratio than Dane.
Felix does. I think Felix is fucking up the game right now.
He's at 3.
Yeah. 3.
Okay.
It says more than that.
Where does when all this like concludes, I'm sure like we want to go and like talk to the Baron and be like, hey, we want an audience with you.
Yeah. So as you guys are sort of like gathering, sort of like giving yourselves a little pats on the give yourself pats on the back, you know, congratulating yourselves for a job well done, making sure that woman didn't die. You actually hear the sort of like swingy door in the low fence open, and you turn and see the Baron, the Burgomaster Vargas, standing there, sort of looking down at all of you as you guys are all sitting there. What?
How tall was he? Did you say like exactly?
No, I did not say exactly.
Dane's like
we'll say that he's right about as tall as you, Dane, but he's wider. He's wider, so bigger in
like
general.
this.
A real Alex Jones type.
Yeah, Dane, you're in the back, just sort of like standing, just like.
Dane's like trying to get as tall as he can.
Yeah, just sort of like from a distance.
He's counting his
like
horns.
measuring.
He's counting his horns, which give him like an inch or two. So, yeah, I'm 6'2".
Just sort of like clearing his hair a little bit, just so they. And Bogart, I have not had. He looks down and he says, "I have not had the opportunity to formally introduce myself as Burgomaster of Vallaki. My name is Vargas Volakovich. You are the travelers who have come from beyond the mists and decided to make a stay in our happy, noble town. Yes."
Yes.
Yes, Baron. I am Noom. These are my companions. And he pauses if anybody wants to introduce themselves. If not, he just
Reach out my hand to shake his.
Toes.
Name's Todd Howard.
He shakes your hand.
That's the name Dane used when he came into town. So like he's got to keep up the front.
I go in for a hug. Name's Kat.
Okay. This is gonna have to be a hug check because he absolutely is not there with you yet.
Oh, okay, that's totally cool.
I love that we've just made hug check a thing.
What are the guards
It
doing
makes things more
when-
complicated for me.
What are the guards doing when she goes to hug?
They definitely step
Spear at the
forward.
ready.
I
They
mean,
definitely
come
step
on.
forward.
Fuck.
He didn't beat
No
you by that
hug.
much.
0-2 today. Jesus.
Please respect my space.
Oh, sorry. And then I
You
go
are
for
still a stranger to me, and this is not how strangers interact.
and go for a handshake.
He shakes your hand. This is appropriate.
then I
Baron, we have recently came aware of a companion of ours that you had met, a woman, Sylvie.
Sylvina.
Yeah, Sylvina.
Yes,
Oh.
another outsider like you all. She
Yes.
was here several weeks ago, I believe.
We are trying to track her whereabouts. Come from the lands of Selena. Kat here is a dear friend of hers, and the rest of us owe a debt to Sylvina's brother to help find her. If we are hoping that you have some information about where she could possibly be.
I see. Your pursuit of your friend is very noble. I am aware that she has left Vallaki, though for reasons that I am unaware of. I do not know her current whereabouts, though I may say that while she was here, she was quite the model citizen. I was very sorry to hear what had happened to her leg, though it seemed like it had recovered well enough. She went so far as to offer to assist with the festivals that took place during her stay. It's a practice that is normally lottery drawn for the townspeople here. It's not an expectation for travelers and visitors such as yourselves, but she went so far as to gain my favor by volunteering with the rest of them, despite her handicap. All that she asked in return was to peruse my public library.
She volunteered to what?
To assist with setting up for the festivals while she was there.
Okay.
Which was not mandatory for travelers as it is for citizens.
You have a library. That's amazing. We had been looking for one since coming here to learn more about Barovia.
Yes, she was of a similar mindset, very earnest about knowledge and understanding this land that she found herself in.
And how long did you say that she stayed? Oh, we know how long she stayed here. We were hoping you could. Was that all that you interacted with her? Was her being the model citizen and assisting to help with the festival, or were there any more interactions between
That
you two?
is as far as our relationship had gone. You see, as burgomaster of such a large town, I have many responsibilities and am kept very busy, so I was not able to spend an excessive amount of time with one traveler.
Well, could we possibly have access to your library? That would be of great interest to us for maybe learning about where Selena went and learn more about Barovia and the Morning Lord. I'm interested in that.
My library is typically off limits to others outside of my personal family. Sylvina was granted access by assisting me in furthering the greatness of our town. I understand from the guards that you performed certain heroics during the tragic events that took place last night. However, between those events and the demon in the orphanage, trouble does seem to follow you all around, doesn't it?
You're not wrong, Baron.
Perhaps you can do something for me. I believe it will keep you, I don't want to say out of the way, but I hope out of any further trouble while we prepare for this week's grand festival. You see, there was a report of a missing citizen a few days ago, and we simply haven't had the resources to investigate this occurrence.
Would this person be Bluto?
Yes, his name is Bluto Kurakov.
Okay.
Reported missing
How do you spell
by
that last name?
Kurakov.
We had heard about Bluto from the family at the inn.
The Corbeaus, yes, that
Yes.
was the citizens who informed me of his disappearance. If you could be so generous with your time and your resources as to locate our missing man, I would find myself indebted to you and allow you this service of visiting my family's personal library to aid in your quest.
Very well, thank you, Baron. That is all the questions I have. My companions might have more.
If you are to find him, report it to to my captain of the town guard. His name is Izik Stratsny. He is out of town currently on business related to last night's events, but will be at the barracks later today.
That reminds me, Baron. Yesterday, I'm sure you've heard Father Lucian has met a tragic end. Though he did stand and fight Tersky, the devil himself. He tragically lost his life.
I heard about this, that he was one of the 73 who unfortunately lost their lives last night, something that should never happen in a town such as ours.
Yes. We were going to perform a burial rite for him. We, in the previous town, in the village of Barovia, the Baron there, his father had passed away, helping Sylvina come to Vallaki. He had met his end at the muzzle of several wolves.
I am so sorry to hear that. I had spoken with him when he was in our town with Sylvina. It is how the two of us became acquainted. At the passing of so many important individuals, it is something that troubles a happy town such as this.
Yes, we helped his son, now the current Baron, perform a burial rite, and we thought that we should give the same respect towards Father Lucian in honor of the Morning Lord and his service towards the God. We were going to perform this. Do you know Yeska, the boy,
altar
the apprentice?
Boy, yes.
He wanted to say his goodbyes with that burial, but we were halted by one of the lieutenants who refused to let him say goodbye. Lieutenant, I'm going to be Karen. Lieutenant,
I was about to call you Karen.
Yeah, Lieutenant Irvan Krilovich refused to let Yeska say goodbye. But that's not the I just want to let you be aware
Lieutenant
that
Krilovich was following my orders. I have arranged for such funeral rites to be performed this evening as a dusk service.
I just wanted
It
to.
would do well to understand that orders that come from the guards come from me, and that you should be prudent in following them.
I just want to make sure that you're aware. We went inside at the guard's orders, and then the next morning got up so that we may perform the rites with Yeska. But the father's body was gone. And
I see.
could not find a trace of where it went.
He was not moved among the other bodies or taken somewhere else.
I was one of the last ones to place the body, and it was right next to one of the piles, about 60 feet west from the door. It had been set to the side so that we may pay our respects.
Perhaps you have two missing individuals now then to try and track down. This troubles me to hear that the events will simply not rest so that we can move on from with our lives here.
And just before we go, do you know of any other holy men in this Vallaki or perhaps the greater of Barovia?
In Vallaki, Lucian was the primary practicer of Morning Lord rites and the rituals. I know them myself as the leader of this town's government, though I do not have the religious fervor that the father had. Losing him is something that creates a bit of a hole in Vallaki.
Mm-hmm.
As regarding Barovia as a whole, there are rumors that the community of Kretsk, to the west of here, has a powerful abbot living in the Abbey of Saint Markovia. It is a very secretive town. They, like Vallaki, are attempting to keep the darkness out, and they do so in their own ways. I do not know.
Where's
much
that
of
compared
this
to where we are?
You said to the west, right?
I know. I'm
Kretsk-
trying to find my map.
Kretsk is west along the old Svalich road before you get to the mists.
Okay. I'm trying to find my map. It's fine. The cartographer lost it. It's fine.
On the map.
Ah!
I believe that's
It's from session 4.
that's
we've
all we
talked about it.
had. Yeah, I believe that's all we had.
Oh
there.
yeah, I
Um,
have it on the map already.
It was a delight to speak with you, sir.
A pleasure to meet you, and I wish you well on your searches.
And
For as long as it
extend his
takes
hand.
for you to find them. He goes to shake her hand and says, "All will be well."
All will be well
May
till we
the
meet
force
again.
be with you too.
All
And
is
then I
well.
curtsy,
Yeah,
and then I
till
curtsy.
till we meet again, Baron.
Indeed. And he turns around and goes back through the door that he came in on in the back of the courtroom.
Did you see my curtsy?
Probably.
Just kind of stick my hand up like a salute kind of wave. Just
You said most likely. Yeah, he probably maybe. I don't know.
Probably. You're not entirely sure. He was looking in your direction, but he didn't seem to give real acknowledgement of that move.
Okay, that's problematic.
All right, so maybe we should go speak away from all these ears.
Yeah. Six is gonna just like have a smile on as he's walking out the Baron's house.
Mm-hmm. It's not the Baron's house.
It's the
Oh,
yeah,
the yeah. I just say it's Baron.
The Baron
It's
does
like a
not live
fortress-
in
it's like a
the
fortress.
prison.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a prison. It's a prison fortress courthouse
Stone fortress with towers.
As we
A
walk out
tower.
the BFC
With a
or
tower.
the PFC, walk out. Yeah, just wait for everybody to gather around. Make sure that there's nobody,
All is well.
no
Dane's
guards, especially within earshot.
Yeah, you're able to get back on the road and sort of find a distance, like a little bit off the road. It's now getting into that took a lot of the morning to go through that whole court process and everything. Then you try to get a little bit of a distance. You got Felix with you. Ernst has also followed you out.
Yeah.
It
Felix,
is very impressive what you were able to do for that woman in there.
We did what we could. She didn't deserve to die.
Not many in this town do, if I may say so myself. But
Tongue-tied
we
there.
can speak about such things this evening. I had told your companion here that my employer was not at all offended by your absence yesterday evening, in accordance to events that had taken place, and that the invitation had been extended to this evening. We would still very much like to meet with you and speak with you
How many bells?
6 bell, right?
at dusk.
Is
How
that
many
6
bells is that?
bells?
At dusk. I don't know why you're fixating on that specific detail.
Number of
I like
bells,
to hear the
please.
bells.
Thomas is so mad that I introduced this bells notion.
It's
the
not
bell.
Thomas. I'm Ernst.
yeah.
Stay in character.
Dave pulls out his pocket sundial.
Ernst doesn't fuck around with the bells. Other characters
Pocket
might.
sundial inside,
Do
Dane.
we? Okay, so
No, we're
quick
outside by now.
question. The locket. Do we still have that, or was that returned?
That was. They have it in there.
We never actually touched it. They held it out to us,
got it,
essentially.
Sure. And then the.
We'll say that Ernst goes his way. He said what he needed to say.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are
So
we
he- yeah,
meeting
you-
in the town square again? I ask him as he walks off.
Yes.
How rude. He just walked away from us.
I'll be waiting for you in the town square at dusk to lead the way to my employer's estate.
Now, do we? We're kind of just alone now. It's just the 5 of us.
Yep. You find five of you in Felix.
In Felix, yeah.
Felix, put your fingers in your ears. Don't listen to this.
No, he
Hum
can-
a song.
he can listen. After this talk we have, maybe we go get lunch. Felix, are you feeling hungry?
I could eat. Yeah.
Yeah, let's stop by the inn on our way back to the home. What's the plan for today? Do we want to learn about the surrounding area a little bit more? Maybe start planning out a trip up north to the lake to find Bluto? Do we want
Bluto.
to?
But
Cat is up for Bluto.
one thing with
As I
that is,
s-
hold on,
as I-
let me finish.
Sorry, Cat. My deepest apologies.
It's okay. I hold him close. You do know when we leave this area, though, we will have to be extra cautious because of
Yes. Yeah.
the dude on the mountain. You know.
We'll be fine. Unless we're not. And then
Okay.
we're not.
thank you. I apologize.
We shouldn't stay indoors all day because we're scared of a little cloud.
Did you see what he did, Cinna?
I was
He
there.
one hit the priest. He one hit the priest.
Snuck
Fucking-
his neck.
Yeah,
He 16
the
scoped him.
the 60-year-old man who was swinging a, rusted up weapon at him. I don't think we have to fear him too much. At least not now. He's going to be reeling from that blast of radiant energy for a while.
From the map and from what we've been told, how far away do we think Lake Zarovich is?
So you aren't exactly sure how far Lake Zarvich is from the town proper. You saw it on your way in from the road. At some point, there were some hills that sort of blocked your view north of Valaki. So you'd have to get to the north gate, and then you would have to at least cross some rolling hills. But from the way that
far.
from when you came in,
It's
thank
this
you.
far.
It doesn't want to focus.
From when you came in, it shouldn't be too far from Valaki. Maybe like an hour, give or take.
Okay.
My map says a centimeter.
Centimeter.
Very good.
Fucking zinger.
I think we should go out and try to find Bluto. But I just want in like 6 covers Felix's ears. Fuck that dude. Jeez.
I know. We killed the fucking
This
vampires. We killed the fucking
isn't
demons. It's not our fault.
home. They do things differently.
Oh,
I know.
I just need to get that out. All right.
Wait, you'll give a child acid, but you won't know, or you'll give a child acid, but you don't know to. Hold on. You'll cover the child's ears
You've got this.
when you curse, but you won't know to not give a child acid.
Oh no, I just did that so I can cover his ears again because I don't know how if this will get back to the Baron in any way. He's a very, very powerful man. I hate him thoroughly.
Okay, you just have a thing with authority.
Yes.
I get
He's
that.
essentially nobility. You know what I mean? Like,
Let's go get some lunch. We can talk about our plans a little bit more and get Felix home. Apologies.
Okay, so as you guys are walking through town, something that you notice, it's now getting into like late morning, around the time when you would, have a second meal. And you've been here a few days now, and the streets seem a little bit less trafficked than any other day. It seems like as you're looking around, there are some people that sort of like need to be places, but for the most part, people seem to be staying in on their own accord, sort of out of fear. Like as you walk by, you can look in windows and see like people are staying inside. There's just not as many people on the street.
The people we do see, how do they behave when we're around?
Give me an insight check.
Oh yeah, I forgot that's a thing. We're playing Dungeons.
Yeah, insight checks
You gotta
are
roll and stuff.
are thing.
Okay.
Dane's just listening to see if
That's a
like someone's
14.
sobbing. To see if someone's sobbing about like their significant other or something being killed by some force of magics.
What impression am I getting?
For the most part, the people that are out on the street are people who have things to do and are trying to like their life. They're sort of like making their life continue. Essentially, they are carrying like supplies or like like the thing where they're carrying like buckets of water on their back, or they have like they have like a wagon they're pushing or something. It seems like it's a sort of like essential workers are the ones who are out and about, and anyone who like doesn't need to do things today are staying in. So it's a sort of like thing that people are going out of necessity and nothing else.
Just like real life. Okay.
Well,
True.
Right now, I mean.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay. A few months ago, I mean.
well.
Okay, at the very beginning when we were still scared of everything.
There we go. And no time else.
Yeah.
I work retail. I know.
And the festival is still 2 days away from now.
Yes, day after tomorrow.
All right.
So maybe we line that up. We line our trip north up when the festival happens, or do we want to stay in town for the festival?
I mean, I would at least like to see what goes on during one of these festivals.
Let's see if the innkeeper, any of them know how far away the lake is, and maybe we can.
Yeah.
Maybe we can.
While
make
we're
a trip.
getting lunch.
Yeah, we make a day trip tomorrow. We go up to the lake, see what we can find out. if it's a a single day trip. If not, we can plan for visiting it after the festival.
What I was thinking we could go if it wasn't too far, as long like an hour away. We could go today.
Today, let's talk to the innkeeper and figure out.
Yeah,
I do need to swing by the alchemist's shop.
Yeah,
Gotta get those drugs.
it'll be a quick 20-minute visit.
We're
and then
at
we can be right back.
13,
Honestly,
and we
I'm
need
not-
to go to 10.
Honestly, I'm not
Alchemist is-
hungry. I can just run there while y'all eat if you want. You know.
I mean, we're
I
going.
have no complaints to that.
The where we were is just like right north of where the alchemist shop was, wasn't it?
The alchemist shop is
It's
on the
on-
far east side of town.
yeah.
You guys
Oh,
are just
sorry.
north of
Yeah,
town square.
so
We're in the
it
town.
is
okay.
north of it,
Okay.
but you have to
Yeah.
go through
Okay.
the
It's very much in the
streets.
opposite direction of the inn or anywhere else
Yes.
that you need to go.
Okay. I thought
Because
that
of the circumstances of that shop, as I've explained in lore.
Alchemist is
Yeah.
10, so it's here.
I can't remember
Inn
any of that,
is
Savannah,
7,
so
so it's that's why I'm pointing. Alchemist is here.
I remember.
Inn is here. This is where the court was.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay.
It's really awkward to point at it when the camera is
It's
on the
reversed.
other
Yeah,
side. Yeah.
I imagine we get to maybe that crossroads, and Dane remembers that he wants to pick up his stuff from the alchemist.
Did anybody else order anything that was going to be due today?
Didn't buy anything.
I can make my
was
own.
asleep.
I'll meet y'all at the orphanage then. Takes off.
Just like wham.
Gave all his weed away.
Okay. And then we head over to the inn. Wait, does that mean we're gonna have to hang out at the orphanage until he gets here?
I mean, it's like 20 minutes there, wasn't it, Thomas? From
Oh, we could just
town,
tell
from
him
town
to
square,
meet
probably
us.
not. And if you're running, it's
Yeah.
from your running now. It's gonna be like 5 or 6 minutes there.
yeah.
We could tell him to meet us at
Yeah,
the
just-
If
inn.
you're if you're
gonna be-
if, you,
Yeah.
if you're going at I'm about to get drugs pace.
Yeah, I'm going at like that's the pace.
That's
No,
like
I mean
that's,
y'all are ordering food and stuff. I don't know how long y'all are gonna be. I was just gonna meet y'all at the orphanage.
Yeah,
You
well,
probably have to wait for us at the orphanage.
probably
I
meet
think
us
I
at
care.
the.
I get to
meet
hang
at
out with the
end.
kids.
At the end, we'll probably feed Felix and then get some more information from the family and then bring Felix back.
Alrighty. We're shouting this as Dane's running. Sounds good.
Okay, so you guys head over to the inn, so you walk into the inn. As I said, people are kind of out and about, basically just for essential services. That being said, there are basically no patrons in the inn currently. You remember that big table where Rictavio was performing and people were all sitting
Telling
around him,
stories,
gaping and gawping
yeah.
and everything like that? Right now, that is the only table that's really occupied. You see basically when I say basically, I mean literally. You see the entire Corbo family all sort of sitting around that table, along with Rictavio. It seems like they're sort of like in a conversation. Jacques is sort of like there, like. He's present, but he's not really in the conversation. One of the kids, the two kids are Claude and Clovis. One of the kids, either Claude or Clovis, is sort of like not really paying attention. He's sort of like leaned back in his chair and sort of like looking at something on the ceiling. Maybe he's making shapes out of knots in the wood, like you do whenever you have like the stucco thing, and you're like, that's the shape of, I don't know, something. That's a bunny.
When I got detention in like elementary school, you know how like there were like dots on the ceiling? I'd always
Yeah,
like,
exactly that.
Connecting them, yeah.
And you connect the dots. Yeah, he's doing that with like knots and cracks in the wooden ceiling. The other child though, this would be Claude or Clovis,
The other one.
seems to be listening intently. And this conversation is just like you can see on the faces as you walk in, is pretty much just happening between Rictavio and Nina, and as you walk in, the conversation looks to be like cut short or something, and Nina looks up at you guys, and goes, "We will talk about this more after the festival. Okay, settle it for now." And Rictavio just sort of shrugs, and Nina stands up and says, "You are all safe. You did not come home last night. I was worried about you, but it is good to see all of you. Thank goodness you were not harmed.
We met Tersky, devil. Slept in the church.
Rictavio perks up immediately and says, "Did you?"
Yeah, quite the interesting douchebag.
What was he like?
I've only met one other man like him, but Tersky is different. He has, I think there was once something in him that might have resembled something just, but whatever that has been thrown out the window
He's a pompous jackass.
long ago. Yeah.
Hmm.
Whatever sympathy I might have for him, long gone.
This is as I expected. I heard that also he had killed the priest.
He did.
Good to confirm that. I've taken care of things.
Did we interrupt something as we walked in?
I was just trying to get some more information from these fine inn owners here. And Nina looks at me and says, "I told you we have nothing for you." And he looks to you, Rictavio, and says, "Perhaps you can do a little bit of thought work for me and see if you come to the same conclusion, because they insist I am confused, but I am not. You see, these people who work here, they own the only tavern and inn in this fine town. They are in charge of the messenger service of this town. You put all these things together, what sort of characteristic applies to people like that? What do these people have?"
Resources.
Resources? What type of resources?
You think they're in the know?
I think so.
What's
They know
the
where
know?
to hide dead
To
bodies.
know about what?
They know where to hide dead bodies. Like our friend Dane last night, who died because of you.
Because of me?
You did that.
What did I do?
You
Entertain
sneak-
me.
Yeah, you with your cool little hat. You caused this to come down. You did this.
How did I do this? Please, explain. I do not understand.
Because you know what? I get really close to him and I say, "I see through your baloney, man. I know you're nothing. I know that hat's a facade. You know the reason that Dane's dead. That Todd Howard's dead.
He's not dead. He's right there.
No,
Dane
he
went to buy
went-
drugs. He's not in the room.
Dane's not there.
Oh, he's not. That's true. He's not in the room. He's not in the room.
Are you seeing because you're remorseful? Huh?
No, that was a slip of the DM.
Time reversed itself. He never said that.
I feel as if I had heard about the passing of our priest, that I would have also heard others dying at the man's hand.
Lots of people died.
73.
Yes.
We're new to this. town.
73 people died. Dane was one of them.
Why would we ever?
What are we doing? What's
Make
the?
a deception check.
Okay. Who? Us? All of us? Or whom's?
You're the one talking.
Arx and Kat are both claiming that Dane is dead.
Well, my +7 did not help.
I think I have a +10 to percent.
Come on, cat. Come on, cat.
No, no,
What's
let's
the
see.
point? What are we?
To gaslight, apparently.
We're getting.
I was told,
Jesus
I
Christ.
was told to pretend Dane was dead.
We're getting a
and so I
table
did
and
it.
food.
The same.
and-
Yeah, Six has already gone and asked them to if they
The-
can prepare food.
Yeah, Jacques says I have a potato mincemeat stew that you would just. It is very good today. Very warms the body after such sadness last night and such dreariness today.
I'm so
Very much
excited.
And Rictavia looks at you and says, "You are very convincing. You're very good at looking at someone and lying to their face." The other one, on the other hand, you are close to this companion, and none of you look sad at all. This has just happened. Many of the townspeople are sad. Many of them are not leaving their homes. I had no one close here, so I have no one personal to grieve for. However, if you do, why are you all not grieving?
Because we don't have the option
That one just ordered
to take.
food. That one just ordered food as if nothing had happened.
We don't have the option to sit around and mourn him. We have things to take care of. We have somebody to find, and we have this town to help take care of.
As you say, the six
Like,
is literally
Who do
sitting
you have
down.
to find?
He eats feelings. You don't need to know that, Rictavio. You can sit there with your funny little hat. You don't deserve to know anything else.
Funny, sexy little hat.
Okay.
That little sexy- he eats his feelings. Leave him be. Don't judge him for that. He
Very-
has a different colored eye now. He's having a rough day too.
What?
Nothing. Don't worry about it.
I am very curious about that eye. That is very interesting.
Don't check. Don't
Because
worry.
he lost Dane. That is what happens when he loses someone close to him.
That's
His
a,
eye colors change.
Did,
You cannot fool me like I am not from the world that you come from.
Cinda, did I change?
I take a magnifying glass and inspect the cornea.
What changed? Like,
Well, it's
which
bright
one?
white now. Your left. one?
Left.
Yeah. Here, let me try. And then I slap you on the side of the head. Oh, that didn't seem to do it.
I was under the impression that you made that's you folks may be able to help me in my own personal endeavors, but I think I can manage on my own.
What would you need our help with?
Like I said, my interest in you has passed.
But maybe we can help
Have fun
you.
finding your missing person.
and then I grab him. And I say, no.
Okay, make a grapple check.
God dang it.
So
What did
bad
you
with
You
these
can't just
today.
grab. You can't just. I'm sorry. In real life, could you just grab someone and they not resist?
I'm only 5'9". No, probably not.
But you
Height
got
has
the-
nothing to
way
do with
tough.
it.
You got
Cat
the
was-
I'm
boob.
talking about in real life, the interactions between two people.
Stop, cat.
Her boobs got in the way.
If he goofs,
Ritavius, maybe you would like to know what happened with Ivana today.
Who is Ivana?
Well, she was
Sorry, I made a joke in my head.
okay. She was tried by the burgomaster today for, just loving her country.
I want to gauge his reaction to any of this.
These chain of events don't make sense to me. Why was she tried for loving her country? Patriotism is something that is very valued here in Valaki. So, as far as I have come to understand it.
Valued, and you have to admit, a little odd, suspicious. People aren't allowed
Sure,
to...
but it is not my town. I am merely a visitor. I am someone who performs entertainment. It is none of my business.
What information are you trying to glean from the innkeepers?
Considering the events that transpired last night, I feel as if the powers that be here are becoming more active than they potentially have been in the past. And if I am to find myself safety here, it would be good to know more about what we face. Does this not follow for you?
No, it completely does. I agree.
And would it make sense that the people who run a common gathering place, as well as the system for exchanging messages throughout this town and the others around it, would know a little bit
Hi,
more about
Laura.
advantages that we may have?
Sorry, I got pulled out of that. Yes. I think being in the know is an important part of just life in general.
He looks at Nina and says, "See, they agree, and yet you do not help me." And Nina says, "I told you we will talk about this more after the festival. It is not something that I want to talk about right now." And Jacques comes out with the potato mincemeat stew for whoever ordered it. I know Six did. I guess there's one also.
Yeah.
There's a kid-sized one there for Felix. Senna got one. Arx and Cat may very well have been too much up in Rictavio's face to have gotten
You were.
to have gotten a
I
few
was.
order in.
Kids under 10 eat free, right? And Felix is like 12 or something, so just be like, you're
He's
10.
11.
How much does he want? How much is the meal?
Half price for you.
It was included in your room fare that you paid yesterday.
Alright. Six waits till he comes. He's been watching that encounter go down and waits for Jacques to come over. Puts the food on and he gives him another gold piece and holds it in his hand for a second and goes, "For all that you've done."
Thank you. It is good to have. It is good to receive proper compensation for what I provide to this town. I am the
course.
best cook in Barovia.
The best food I've
There
had
are
here
none better
came
than
from,
me.
Came from
What?
this inn. The best food I've had came from this inn.
I am glad to hear that. You tell everyone about it.
I will.
There are none that compare to me.
If I so I was watching Rictavio, especially during that beginning part where Senna was insinuating that that Rictavio had a connection to Ivana.
Yeah.
What was his reaction that I got?
Insight check.
He's not going to give you anything for free.
Insight me, Captain.
Yeah,
Oh,
not gonna
man.
happen.
Hmm.
It's that stupid sexy hat.
It was
You
a
got
combination of
distracted.
the hat just got you so distracted, and oh, you could smell that stew.
It's pretty nice.
This is the best food that you've had in Barovia. It has come from this kitchen.
Yeah.
It's not something that you're trying to be flattering about. This is the best food that you've had.
This is the only food I've had. This is
I
the
will-
best food that I've had.
I'll kind of
No,
end
we
the...
had some food in Village of Barovia.
Yeah, Ismark. I'll kind of end the confrontation with Rictavius. Which one is it?
Rictavio.
Rictavio. On the confrontation we had with him, listen, obviously you want something. If you could use our help, we are neutral. We're outsiders. We don't have any ties to anybody. So just, think of us going forward, and perhaps we can come to an understanding and help you.
Fellow entertainers. Raises glass.
Very well. And he stands up and moves to go upstairs and says, "I will think on it. Have fun with whatever it is that you are doing here, neutral party." And he walks upstairs and goes into his room. Anything else that any of you would like to say to the Corbeaus or talk to each other before skedaddling? Before eating?
Did we ask how far away the lake was?
Yeah.
Yet?
Jacques, how far away is Lake Zarovich? I think we're going to go and see if we can find Bluto.
Lake Zorovich is not too far from here. A few from the town square, which is not too far. You head to the north gate, and it is not a far hike through the hills that you find to the shore. There is a dock there, very nice. Should not take you more than an hour to reach it.
Okay, so it is
Okay.
a day trip. Cool. Then I think we're gonna drop Felix back off home. You okay with that, buddy?
Yeah,
And then
yeah. I'll tell Myrtle about Miss Belasco and Milivaj and all the rest.
and then we'll probably go up north. Anything else we should know about the lake?
Well, I would say you have no reason to fish in that lake. There are no fish in that lake. It is devoid of life.
Is there a monster in the
Is
lake?
that because of like the salinity, or is that their an apex
Is it a,
predator?
a
Apex
weird
predator.
pH balance?
I don't know. It is just a lake with no fish in it.
That is
Many have tried to fish.
quite peculiar.
They come back with no fish.
How do you know that they're not just bad fishermen?
It is crazy to think that there have been no good fishermen over the decades that I have been alive.
You want to know something? Don't underestimate people. You never know how bad at something they can be.
Well, you think
Savannah
that someone
has a real life
that-
story.
You think that someone would be able to catch a fish at some point over the many years?
Yes, I think
Think.
no. I think you're probably right about that. Has there ever been any like expeditions into maybe why there's no sea life, or I suppose lake life? Has anybody gone and dived into the lake?
Not to my knowledge. It is simply, perhaps long ago, that may be a reason why nobody pursues it. It is just common knowledge now that there are no fish, and
Have you tried
it's something that most of us accept.
Have you tried bringing in fish from outside? That's a common practice they did, creating lakes from our home world. They bring in aquatic life from other bodies of water.
Apparently not, but I am not in charge in such operations. I cook at this inn. I have a happy life.
Can we get a physical description of Bluto?
Oh, sure. Let me just pull up a the token image here so I can look at it myself.
Does he have a special border around his face? That's how we know he's important.
Do I have his stupid ass token? I have it somewhere. I know I do.
Did you just call him stupid? And an ass?
Well, with a name like Bluto,
It's a
His
really-
stupid ass token.
Yeah.
It's quite a dumb name.
Bye, kitty cat.
Bluto is a big wolf of a man. He has a sloppy beard and sloppy gray hair. Probably teetering around drunk, though he hasn't been here in the past few days. So I don't know if he is. He must have something with him because he cannot stand to go an entire day sober. So if you see him, he's probably the man who can't walk straight, and his belly is full of wine. The rest of his body too, messy. in
Where does he
appearance
get
in
the
general.
money to pay for all the wine?
That is a good question. I never asked.
Is it the
It is
fish?
not my place to do so. He simply pays for the wine, and we give it to him.
So he has no job.
Maybe he captures all the fish.
Or
Maybe
so.
he keeps saying that he is going to catch a fish, but no one believes him.
Just.
Hmm.
I think he's catching all the fish.
Let's
Arx
table-
is now determined that Pluto is catching all the fish.
Let's table this conspiracy theory and let's get Felix home. Jacques, as always, this was lovely.
We will welcome you within our home anytime you need hospitality. Good food, good beds. We are here.
Before we leave, Arx wants to ask Jacques if he has any food that travels well, like corn dog type of thing. Like you can hold it in your hand and
You
eat
have
it
a
as we
corn
walk to the
dog?
orphanage. Well,
corn
corn
dog.
dog's what I thought of as an example.
We
I'm
have
not saying
loaves
if he
eat
has a
one.
corn dog.
We have loaves of bread and good cheese that you can carry with you.
Perfect, I
Dried
want
meats,
it. Dried meat, cheese, bread. Yes, that is exactly what I want.
a sandwich to go. I can make this for you.
Yes.
He runs back to his kitchen, excited. He makes you that sandwich, and you guys head out and go deposit Felix at the orphanage. Is there anything specific you wanted to do with the orphanage?
Six will give Felix a small brass ring.
Okay.
Pulls it, gives his trinket pouch, the never-ending one.
Yep.
And gives it to him. And I rolled on a random table.
Sure.
I got number 5, a brass ring that never tarnishes. And gives it to him. He goes, I got this off of a off of a man that said, this ring will start to get cuts and scrapes and stuff. It'll stay polished and perfectly fine as long as you have hope. And gives it to him, and like kind of, and he like gets one of his, we'll say, gets his bladed staff before he gives it to him, and like kind of cuts at the metal a little bit, and doesn't change. And he goes, I have hope, and he gives it to him. Says, as long as you have hope, it's gonna stay clean.
He looks a little inspired by this. He accepts the gift. Just quickly before we end, meanwhile, Dane had run to the apothecary and had picked up his drug, and the Romanio apothecary, potion maker there. Her name was something.
Starts with an A.
Was it Anya or I think it was Anya.
Anya, yeah.
Yeah. Anya says, "Oh, thank goodness you are alive. Very
Me
good to see you."
too.
Yeah. Were you
they
here
get-
to check up on me?
Yes. Yeah. How
We're-
were you safe? Did the vampires even get close to this side?
I don't think they did.
Good.
Me and Karina, we stayed inside, kept the door shut, did not let anyone inside.
No, that's really good. That's really
Thing
good.
to do during vampire attacks.
You had what to do during the vampire attacks?
The thing to do.
Oh, yeah, very much true. Actually, me and my group, we were out killing the vampires.
What a flex.
Impressive.
Just
They are very
casually.
Just like we
they
were.
are very difficult
Oh,
to take
you're
care
telling
of.
you're telling me I was there.
What an
Yeah, no,
awkward conversation.
They yeah.
I was,
Oh.
I was there.
Yeah, I was. I was there. I killed like 3 or 4 of them.
Wow.
Yeah, by myself. Yeah. So like, if you and your girlfriend ever need help, like, I'll be here to help.
She
you,
is my
don't worry.
wife.
Your wife, sorry.
My way.
If you and your wife ever need help, like, just call me. I'll be here in a heartbeat to help y'all.
Is this Dane being horny?
To a lesbian.
Yeah.
Hey, you never know. They might be open to it.
You get with a 0 insight check, regardless of what you roll, you have the feeling that they're not into it. But for whatever reason, you are still going with it because you don't know how to get out of the conversation.
Yeah.
So you just keep going further into it.
deeper in it. But oh,
I will
you know,
make sure to think of you.
you know what? Since I'm here, are my drugs ready?
Yes, your drugs are ready.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Like I did come to check up on y'all, make sure you're safe. I know. I
It
know
is
you're.
back here.
I know you're not really. I know people
You've
look
already
at you.
paid for it.
I know people aren't cool with you in town.
Let me
so I just
tell
wanna
you
make
about
sure.
what. Let me tell you about this.
Yeah.
And
Okay. Yeah.
she comes out. She's very. She knew the charade all along, but she just kind of went along with it. And she reaches out this sort of like this little like wooden jar with a lid onto it with like a stopper. And she opens it up, and there's a sort of like paste inside, and she says, "What you do this privately. It can be discreet for many people because of the color, but your skin tone may
Oh fuck.
make it a little more obvious.
All right. Can I do it like with
you
my
take-
gums?
Not the gums, under the nose,
Oh, under my nose.
under
Okay.
the nose."
Cool.
And she hands you that already been paid for. It is all
Ec-
yours. Tomorrow we will have the other request ready for you. The disappearing dust and the and my experimental sort of
I'm really
sort
excited.
of brew, so to
really-
speak.
I'm really excited for that one. I'll slap 2 gold on the table as like a tip.
You are too generous.
Is that gold minted or not?
All my gold is
Yeah,
minted,
why do you
Savannah.
keep asking? Stop.
I just think it'd be funny
I'm
if you
really
gave him
tr-
an extra tip.
I'm really
and it
trying to
wasn't
forget about it,
minted.
but you keep bringing it up, which means I have to remember it.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, so this is the point where I pull out the teddy bear, unzip the belly, and put the jar of drugs in there to hide it.
I love it.
Fucking
I
like
love that.
the anime kid in high school. You
Oh
should be a
my
teddy
God,
bear
that's
backpack.
perfect. With drugs in it. Oh my God, this is so good. Okay.
God.
Yeah, terrific. Take
Yeah.
care. Not
you.
too much now.
Just
No
like,
more than twice a day.
No more than twice? Okay.
No more than twice.
Alrighty.
You
Thank
will
you.
get headaches. You will
Oh.
have less fun. You want to have fun, yes.
Fun. Very much, yes.
Yes.
All right.
Mhm.
You stay safe. Tell your
too.
wife I said hi. I charge out the door.
This is
Straight
gonna
out
be
the
great
door.
character art.
You definitely beat them to the orphanage so that whenever you guys get there, Dane is literally already there. Have you done the drug before you got there, or are you saving it?
No, I'm saving it for.
Okay.
Dane doesn't know what's going on, but he didn't want to look like suspicious when he got back to the group. Like, fuck, he's already done
Why
it.
do I
And
feel like we're gonna have like a really hardcore combat session, and you're gonna be high?
Dane's gonna pop it off.
Dane's addiction.
Fucking
part
go!
Electric
So you're
Boogaloo.
You're trading your addiction to the dream pie for.
Yeah,
two.
fuck
Yeah,
the
but he
dream-
chose this one.
Yeah.
I chose it. Yeah, I was involuntary. The pie one. This one is chosen.
Okay, so you guys
Dane-
reunite. You deposit Felix back. Dane's being sketchy, but like you guys kind of like assume why. You know what he was doing, but and he's very yeah.
Don't worry, this
A
is
guard's getting a little too close. Dane's like,
And he
it's
hasn't even
le-
done
it's
any
legal
yet.
back in Selena.
yeah.
And
Yeah, where
you
we're from,
guys. You guys head north on your way to the Fisher's Gate to head towards Lake Zarovich, and that's where we will pick up next session.
Woo! That was a good session.
All right,
Yeah,
see
that's
you, Jared.
good.
Okay, I love you all. I gotta go.
Bye,
Everybody.
Jared.
Doesn't like sticking around with us.
His girlfriend's there.
Yeah, I know.
Hmm.
Okay, I was like, I don't know if anybody noticed that, but I messaged
He does notice
him
that we
to
play
double
until
check.
9 and then chat until 9:30, right? That's something that we do every week.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And
Hey,
he could
Jake,
have
what
informed
time
us
is
if
it?
his plan was changed. His plan.
To figure out. Oh, here we go. And then I grab
Why I'm probably gonna start making dinner while we do this next little
Copy.
session, but it will be fine.
I'm lost right now. What's
There we go.
happening?
Sorry, I was just switching us over to
What?
to Zoom because now we see the full Zoom screen in the recording instead of whatever.
Oh,
Because it, 'cause
wonder
it
if the
gets cut
kitty
off and
cat
it's
gets
funny.
in the recording.
Anyways, it is the show that happens when the show's over.
There's a
So,
show that happens when the show's over?
Yeah, it's kind of this little.
What's it called?
Yeah.
I don't think we ever named it.
We
I
should
do
name
know
it.
it's something we came up with
How
ourselves.
about-
Nobody else does this.
The
Oh, fuck. I can't make dinner while we do this. My
the monster
laptop doesn't have a
Pass
camera.
or the monster last.
Oh, well.
Shame. The monster last.
The monster last. The monster.
No,
aft.
no, it's the monster chat.
The monster after.
I like
Anyway,
the monster
this is
chat.
the after show. It's the show that happens.
Oh, shit, that's what it
after the
was.
show. We like to talk about the scenarios that we went through today, situations that we enjoyed, things we maybe would have wanted to do differently, any regrets we might have, stuff like
What was
that.
that word?
Regrets.
Great.
You get it tattooed on your on your nipple.
Congratulations.
No regrets around your nipple. So I'm just gonna start the show off. Favorite session or favorite moment from the show for me was the honestly Rance killed it with the torch session. He
Oh,
took it
my
by the
heart was
reins
pounded.
I'm very glad that you took the lead on that. I thought it was kind of funny that you had Felix be
Yeah.
the number 2 up there because I was like, you guys could definitely like help each other out and everything. Felix wasn't gonna fucking do anything. He's a scared little kid. He'll answer your questions, but he's not gonna like
Yeah,
provide defense on his own.
He's a character witness.
Yeah, here you are, just like he could have confirmed things from the audience.
Honestly, I
Mhm.
wanted to. I would love to see that scene play out with each one of us trying to
Yeah.
defend. and see
Oh,
how.
yeah, see like how the session could have gone differently if each
Mhm.
one of you was the person on the stand, except and not Six.
Because I feel like today's episode was very Six focused. You talked a lot, which is
Which
fine.
I think,
I
which I'm
thought
honestly
that's normal.
I'm personally happy about, because Six was very not involved in the whole feast event.
Yeah.
That was me. I was
Six rolled
involved.
very, very poorly, and so he got to the back of the pack. He was the last
Winded.
one to show up at the church. He
I
had
was involved.
he had one taunt at Strahd, who had a comeback locked and loaded. So
Isn't it
like,
crazy how Jared, he took Cat, like all those little vampire spawnlings, they just came up, and he used fear on them, and he's just like, run away. And like
Yeah.
each one he just made run away.
that was very interesting. Yeah. My
So-
favorite part, I think, I just right at the end there, whenever Dane stored his drugs in that teddy bear that he bought from
Oh my
Blinsky's.
gosh, yes.
God.
I love that detail. I don't know why. I'm obsessed with that detail.
Now I'm gonna get like a strip of cloth to tie around the bear's neck and like around one of its feet, to hang it on me. So if I need a
So you
quick
can wear
bump,
like a little teddy bear backpack.
yeah, when I need a quick bump, I can just flip it around, unzip,
You better make a tube that goes through the bear's nose,
just
Like a tube
yeah,
of toothpaste, like
yeah.
so you can just like whip it around.
It's like do you ever watch Open Season?
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
That's where I got the idea from, because I recently watched it and I was like, I have the fucking stuffed bear. I can put my drugs in there.
Oh my
That's
God.
that's very good.
You want to repeat that and listen to the poem you just wrote?
Who?
What?
You. It rhymed.
Oh, I didn't notice. And
How did you? What did you guys think about the justice system of Vallaki?
I thought that shit was pretty dope.
Fuck
Straight to
that
the
I
point.
expected it to be
Oh
exactly
my
like
God.
that.
Six groveled. I was like, ooh, what a polite boy. He's
Yeah,
being
Six- he
so
will-
nice to
he will
authority in the room.
Be a little good boy who loves to suck toes.
Oh,
That-
he was metaphorically sucking Vargas's
Yeah.
toes. Every single one of them between them too.
Yeah. That was fully my intention to like be. You are the greatest, most handsome, most just, wise Baron there has ever been. in
What
all
did you think
barons.
about this Burgomaster compared to
Pizza.
the last one you met?
Fucking
a little bit more
dick.
established. I like
And-
the dichotomy of a burgomaster that has all the reins in Vallaki, and a burgomaster who is literally on his second day of burgomastering.
Mhm.
It's kind of nice to see. I think that's reflected by the size of the city as well,
Yeah.
and how people behave and stuff. So
Leaked.
Yeah.
My two
Go
favorite
ahead.
moments, real quick, were when me, Kat, and Savannah were all like, "Yeah!" when the fucking coffee maker was sentenced to fucking
I was
death.
trying. I saw that in my peripherals because I was focused on like finishing the sentence, as Vargas would not be paying attention to the audience. But I saw you guys all standing up and like cheering, and I was like, okay.
oh, that's
then
so we
the
got
other
a
one-
lot. Sorry, yeah. do
The
your
other one,
second
real quick, was when I convinced Savannah and Jared to try to convince them I was dead. I messaged them both privately. I was like, try to
Oh
convince them I'm dead.
Oh. That was so. I have to admit, for all of you, all three of you involved, that was stupid, and I don't know why you did it.
I thought it'd be funny.
It said pretend I'm dead, and I was like, okay, why? And he's like, because it will be funny, because
It'll
I'm
be
not
funny.
there. And I'm like, okay, sure, whatever.
You asked a question. Jared was like, "All right, if I can get it to come up." He was instantly on board.
I just wanted to know. I said okay. I just wanted to know why.
What one thing I wanted to chat about today is the plot hooks that we were introduced to today. So the thing with Ivana, there's apparently a group of insurrectionists, some rebel scum. We don't know much about them. I thought that Rictavio was probably linked to him. That's why I brought it up. But we didn't get any information there. But there's some threads we could probably, try and hunt down that way. Heinrich, in his defense, he shared quite a bit of information about, why he did what he did. If we wanted more information from him, we'll have to get it before the festival because, of course, he's going to die during the festival. He mentioned a noble person called Von Holt. Von Holtz?
Von Holtz.
Von Holtz. That might be something we want to dig into if we're able to. For whatever reason, they wanted to destroy. The Von Holtz were a part of this play to destroy the peace in Vallaki, or at least let Strahd into Vallaki, I guess. So that might be something we look into at some point. And then I think the last one is just the thing we're doing with Bluto. So we are now on our way north of the city. How does everybody feel about leaving the safety of the walls?
Oh, Dane's
I don't think the
scared.
walls are safe, so I'm
It's gonna
fine.
be tough. After the father's body disappeared, I don't think anywhere besides the church is safe.
Yep. Thank you,
Real quick, I did want to talk about the engraving on the locket. I interpreted it differently. It was, what was it again? May darkness
May darkness hide from Gaze's light or something like that.
Yeah,
I
so
got this.
I would have interpreted it as it was specifically made to let darkness in the town, as opposed to keep a demon locked away by the way it's worded. So, because
yeah.
keep it away from the gazes of the light.
I thought that at first, but it being written in Celestial made me think that it was like this was supposed to be its eternal prison.
What?
Like I thought that
What creatures speak celestial normally? Normally.
Celestial,
Angels,
you
right?
think angel.
so, but like that's also the thing though is
Angelic
like
creatures, like
Angels and
Strahd-
Fae.
Asimars.
Fae as well. Yeah, you just said the Fae. And like also like Strahd is technically the god of this place. He's got complete reign of
He
the
thinks
sky.
he's a god.
I
He's
mean,
got-
if he was celestial, he wouldn't have burned up whenever the
No,
bones
that's not what I mean. Though. I mean as in the way of him being able to control the way the weather works and how the beasts and the lands works. He is technically, god king of these lands. So he could have been the one to make the engraving and put the demon in there to get it in town.
We should work out a deal where we get like 1 day of sunshine free a month. Like, hey, people will just be so much happier if
We
You
might
just
have been
have
able to
one day.
bargain that if we gave him the bones.
Yeah. I
Like
don't think
that's
so. I don't-
that's what I was thinking when like the engraving was going on. Like even though it wasn't celestial, I could have seen like maybe there's like a rogue, but then like Thomas said, like the Fae, like it could have been a fairy that did it as part of, a way to help Strahd, because my patron's is part of the Fae.
Senna also
Asimars.
speaks celestial. Maybe Senna did it.
Yeah, fuck you, Senna. Did you do it? Are you in leagues with Strahd? Do I have to
You got me.
distrust you and Kat now?
You got me.
Thomas, here I'm sending the picture of 6 for his new token.
Oh, did you update the token?
Yeah.
Did you update it even more?
Yeah.
I feel like as we get, permanent injuries or
Right.
like just characteristic
Looks
changes,
badass.
yeah, we'll have to keep on.
Are there
Uh,
scars on Hero
okay.
Forge?
Yeah, but they're not very modular. You can't do
Yeah.
you can't do like a custom scar. You have to choose one of their like 12.
That's fine. I'm sure some of them are like scratches, right? Dane's got big old wolf's claw marks on his chest now.
Yeah, you might be able to find that, or you could probably Photoshop it yourself, but that might be a tough.
That sounds
tough
like
cooking.
work.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just if I can't do it on Hero Forge, I'm not gonna fucking care.
Shoot, I had one more thing I wanted to chat about, but I don't remember what it was. So, does anybody else have anything they want to bring up?
Well, there's
I'm hungry.
what. So one other thing that you guys don't know that you may want to theorize. Okay, so also Rance and Savannah, did you guys say your favorite moments?
Oh.
Oh, do I have one?
I did
fucking
like.
hope so. It was a good session, Savannah.
Uh,
I made it a lot of fun for everyone, and I hope you enjoyed it, especially
I wrote-
specific parts.
yes, Baron. Yes, Baron.
I wrote a lot of notes. Does that
Do you like his
count?
voice?
I
Yeah,
drew
that
a
was-
map
it
of
was
the
slow
courtroom.
and do what, Savannah?
I drew a map of the courtroom.
Oh, nice. It was
This is how I
slow
stay engaged.
and purposeful.
I was trying to go
You
for
could-
a Russian Jeff Goldblum, but evil.
You could tell.
Ooh, I think,
Yeah, I think you got it.
You could tell that he, carries weight with what he says. He's used to his voice mattering, or what he says mattering. So.
Mm-hmm. Rant's favorite moment?
The court scene, just as soon as like from the moment you were like pick two people, I was like heart pounding.
I figured it would be one of them, just because you didn't get you were probably the least spotlighted or spotlit in last session. So it's your turn to be to have the sort of like have the head roll there.
Yeah, that, and I just, it was a little bit funny because I have a -1 to all charisma.
I also thought about that too. I was like, it's probably gonna be Rance at 6. However, 6 has lower charisma, so I'm gonna have to help him a lot.
Yeah, that nat 20 at the beginning, I probably really
Solid.
helped. But yeah, the court scene, and then just everything with the RP chat that we did, I really liked.
I was wondering if you were upset that I took that thing away from you.
I'm not upset. Like, it was, I think it was in the moment perfect for 6 because it was like starting from at the near the end of last session where he wanted to get up to Strahd but couldn't make it up in time before he just disappeared. He could only shout at him, and then and like just getting up there, and 6 sided with Cat and said, like, let him take the bones.
Nope.
Let him take them.
No.
Like, those were 2 like hits towards his self-esteem right there. And then getting on the altar, saying that nobody was there. It's like another thing. And then going into the the father's room, burned to a crisp, nothing. And then just at the very and then like his talk with Yeska was like a little bit of a boost for him, but like just defeated, going out into the cemetery and the guard being like, get the fuck back in, and then like, I carry the light, gets in.
Yeah, that was a good quote, buddy.
Savannah's favorite moment. We didn't actually say it. So I have a least favorite moment, and I have I guess favorite moment, but there's no combat, so it's never actually going to be a favorite.
I try so hard. I spent multiple hours today making this session for you all.
I just like combat better than roll.
Then you like combat better than a courtroom scene? Are you shitting me?
That is verbal combat.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
verbal
We're fighting.
combat. It's
We're
not
fighting
hitting
for justice.
something.
We're fighting for the law.
We're
Anyway,
fighting with
so-
our words.
I am the law.
So least favorite is the fact that Dane had no nightmares, and I did not get to punch him in the navel.
Oh, you're so sad that that Dane didn't have any more gruesome
Aw.
nightmares.
Yeah, fuck you.
He's
Yeah,
over
Dane,
his-
Tumas, how do you feel about Dane being over that or being past those nightmares?
Oh, I'm fucking ecstatic. Like, him being able to just like, he's like, Dane's been scared to go to sleep. I forgot how long it's been since we got to sleep. Like, what? How many sessions has it been that we've been doing like combat? Like this one fucking day been basically, like 4 sessions.
Yeah, there were 4 parts to yesterday's to day 5.
Yeah, so like I'd forgotten that was one day. So for like a while, I was like, damn.
I was
Dane's
totally
doing-
ready to tease you. I was just like, I'm
Yeah,
just
and
gonna
then
say
you're-
Dane. Yeah,
I was just like, fuck, because I knew what it was. The way
I've been
you
saying
say
it this. I've been saying it the same way every time before every vision. I'm just like, I'm gonna bring it up and be like,
Ah.
"You're free, bitch."
you said it, and then you're like,
Right.
yeah, you didn't have any dreams, and like Dane slept like a baby. He hasn't. Dane always scratches his nuts when he wakes up, so he ain't been doing it since the nightmare started.
He
He's been too
ain't
scared.
He's been too
doing
afraid to
it.
touch his nuts.
Yeah, he's afraid he's gonna find teeth down there.
Savannah, what was your favorite moment?
My favorite moment is the part where the coffin maker was sentenced to death.
That was really good too. I fucking
think-
hate
I
that
still-
dude.
I
I
figured you guys
still
would like
want
that.
to. I still want to, dig deeper into. I'm really. I know we can't.
Well,
do
that's why I
everything.
tried to ask him who, and that's why I specifically wasn't mentioning Bones. I was just saying he took something from Father Lucian. I just wanted to know who told him to take it.
One
Yeah.
question I had for Thomas during, yes, you, during, I guess, just the whole justice scene. I was thinking like, oh, maybe they have, magical abilities like Zone of Truth or something. So I was thinking something like that would come into play where, you have the all-powerful Baron who, holds all the power, right? He's able to have access to these, magical spells that, might not be common other places. So I was thinking, yeah, maybe they're gonna have something like that come into play. So
It's
Just curious.
less. I think it's less fantasy than that. It's more of he thinks he already knows the truth before he walks in the room.
yeah,
Yeah.
That's why there's no jury. That's why there's no standard defense and prosecution
and
system.
that's a really interesting philosophical debate, right? I mean, like, obviously America does their justice. You get judged by your peers, but that's been a very very heated and convoluted topic of conversation for a long time is how to do justice, right?
And
That's
the way he does that, or because he doesn't have like Zone of Truth or any other spells, that makes it like solidifies it more. That for me, I like in my head, my theory right now is that he doesn't want shit to do with the church, because I think, and the way like saying like he doesn't have the fervor that the father does, that makes me think that he doesn't, at the very least, does not care about religion in Barovia.
Do you think he's in cahoots with Strahd?
Oh no, I don't think he is at all.
No.
Especially after, like, Six doesn't know, but Rance does. What Dane learned from Ernst about when Six learns that, fucking shit.
I love Dane and Ernst just sort of sitting in the back together by themselves. I thought
Yeah.
that you were all gonna sit by him, but I was like, but it was just Dane. I was like, I'm glad someone did. Like he was there to like be present, and also to like, I was hoping someone would be next to him, be like, yo, what are these tier punishments I'm hearing about? And I was just like, fuck yeah, that's why he was there. Let me explain to you what the tier punishments
See,
are.
if Dane had it sat by him, Arx was going to, but since Dane sat there, Arx
Fuck.
decided
He
not
basically
to.
sat on him. You okay,
You
everybody?
okay? Did you hit your nuts?
Funny bone.
No, I
punch him in the navel. Punch him in the navel.
I sit crisscross in my chair because I'm comfortable, and while I was moving, I was like getting up to like fix my leg because I was
Did you
slipping,
sit on your nuts?
and I got a fucking cramp in my
Oh,
thigh.
no.
I assumed you
And
hit yourself
leg-
in the nuts.
My leg
Um,
got stuck on my other leg, so I was like, oh, I couldn't get it
What
out
about-
to stretch it.
We're about at 3.5 hours of airtime.
I have one last
Um,
question for you
The
guys.
Zoom's been going on for
Alright.
4 hours and 8 minutes.
There
That's what I got for
are.
you.
You guys have you guys have got a couple plot hooks. You guys have had a couple things that you're wondering about. One thing that you didn't theorize on that I'd like to hear your theories is what happened to Father Lucian's body.
I think vampires, the ones that we didn't kill, came and took it.
I think somebody
Oh,
working for Strahd took it.
So they can't
Yeah.
turn it into.
I think-
bones like Saint. Is it Andral's? Saint Andral's bones?
I don't know.
Saint
I don't know about
Angel.
that because did the father say you have to be alive to be made a saint, or is that?
Oh.
No, you could be.
You have
I
to
mean,
be
in
dead.
Catholicism, you could be made a saint after you're dead because you kind of
Hi,
have to.
kitty.
The father let us in on
Here.
what it takes to be a saint.
The father
Say
explained that
hi.
sainthood requires virtue, like obscenely high amounts, like
Hi.
within you, like ingrained in your personality of virtue, duty, and action. And when he was explaining it to you, he explained that he himself is like as the holy leader that he is not enough to be a saint.
Okay.
And went on to like explain why what Andrel had done had made him reach to sainthood, to sort of like press in the fact that becoming a saint is kind of a rare thing.
What are
I
the
think-
what are the value of just a random person's bones?
I
Random
think
I'm
just
sorry,
to
not bones,
desecrate
but-
them.
10 gold.
Right then, or like worst case scenario, might be giving Thomas an idea here. Like turn him into a vampire if you can do
Yeah.
that like posthumously.
A vampire or any other
Zombie.
undead, like lich.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, sure. I think it's all cool. I can make zombies too.
I wonder
Yeah.
why.
Peacela could make zombies.
I wonder.
You never
well,
let
not
her.
anymore.
Yeah, she died.
She could make zombies.
At one point in time, she could.
At one point in time, she could make zombies.
She could, but I think the whole time I started playing with y'all, she never once did.
Because Connie wouldn't let her.
Yeah, Connie always got in the
kept
fucking
getting
way.
mad.
Believe in zombies.
Yeah.
She was very much against using the dead like that, which is funny
I-
because I have written.
You have
I've written a
necromancy
death-
spells. Yeah.
Well, she has not. Well, she never prepared them.
Mm.
She never. She didn't believe in using them. But one of my on deck characters that I told you about, my death cleric, Daphne Rodriguez, she absolutely thinks that it's so fucking cool to use dead bodies because
Oh my
she doesn't
gosh,
believe.
her
She
and
doesn't.
Peacela would be great friends.
She doesn't
then.
believe. This character doesn't believe that that a person needs their body after death. That they are two separate entities, and that if they were going to do something about the dead bodies, that they would stop them or something. What are they going to care? They're somewhere on a different plane.
Yeah.
They're not even going to know. Also, she just finds anatomy very interesting, and she's just like very fascinated to be able to
So
use
what-
magic to empower it.
So she finds anatomy interesting, and
Uh-huh.
she can animate dead bodies. Does she do
Would be
other
able to
things
as
with
a
these
death cleric.
dead bodies?
I haven't played with her yet. This is just an on deck character.
I think Savannah's trying to insinuate that your character wants to fuck the dead.
Oh no! Ew,
I think that's
Savannah!
probably a good time. That's the second time this has come up. Fucking this game. Like, chill the fuck out with fucking the dead. That's so weird.
It's your
I didn't
girlfriend.
mention it the
It's your
first
girlfriend
time.
and your friend.
I'm gonna
But
go
Savannah
ahead.
and Jared brought it up.
Yeah, I know. I'm so
I-
sorry.
I got-
I'm gonna
I
go
got-
ahead and end
I got
this.
one thing for you guys before we go. It is
Yeah.
a what I've been working on for the next story.
Yeah, tell him. For the next story, or for my sabbatical.
Wait, do you want me to
for the
in
next
in the
for the next
recording?
story.
You want me
You
to end
can
the
keep it
recording?
going.
Yes or no? Keep going.
You can keep
Okay.
it going. Just want the intro line. All right. We came to the island to celebrate, but little did we know that when our ship arrived, with it came death.
Jurassic Park.
Survivors' account of the ship's harbor incident.
Oh, that's fucking
Nice.
cool.
Yeah, I think that'll be a good short story.
Not Jurassic Park.
Not
Oh, the next. I thought you meant the next campaign, and I was like, oh,
Oh,
shit,
no,
you
ne-
have that
next
ready
story.
already?
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's good. That's good. I like that.
Nobody. Did anybody answer my question on Discord?
What
We're still
question?
recording.
I didn't see.
When
Where
Thomas-
did you ask a question?
in general.
That's not the right general.
Oh, Rance says something planned. I see that.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I have everything, and it can be changed depending on what everybody else wants to do. It can be like, I can make it short-ish. Like, I think minimum you could do like 2 levels, and then but like ideally, I think I'd want to do like maybe like level 5 to maybe 7, maybe 8.
Yeah, that's the best levels right there. 5 to 10
Yeah.
are the best levels.
Thomas
to play.
has not seen the meme I put on the Discord, so then I had to tag. Oh.
I've
Oh,
seen
you've
the
seen
name a
it.
thousand
Okay,
times.
I'm gonna go ahead and end the recording. Thank you so
it
much
was so
for
funny. So
tuning
I
in.
had
Listen,
to show you.
listen to my podcast, My
Listen
Favorite
to
Trees. If you like my
Thomas's
voice.
podcast. He's,
Hey,
very
Thomas,
brilliant
when is my
with
requested
nature.
tree coming up?
Never.
What tree did you? Oh,
If you have any tree requests,
sometime this summer.
talk to Thomas, I guess. I
far
don't know.
away.
Find me on social media. I'm on Facebook and Twitter at My Favorite Trees, or email me at treeguythomas@gmail.com.
If you
This
want to learn
summer's
more
so
about
far.
who we are, you can check out the Story So Far document that we have prepared. We have quite a bit on there. It's just all the summaries of each camp or each session that we play.
We're telling a story.
Yeah, don't feel
Time.
obliged. You can pretty much tune into.
You're
this.
obligated to read it all.
Yes.
Pretty much, you can tune into this.
If you
stream.
don't bother coming to the next stream.
You can tune into this stream anytime you have some free time. But we will be here every Friday at about
Except for
6
next one.
p.m. Except for next Friday. So
My
the
bad, guys.
23rd. I guess we're not gonna have a game. But the 30th
Forgot about that.
will be on.
We can
And,
play a one shot if you guys want to, or like a mini RPG or something.
Yeah.
I'm totally down for that.
I'm good for a one-page RPG. Those are fun. Okay, thank you so much for tuning in. We will catch you next time.